in the courthouse where time stood still. Generations pass on the hill, prosecutors come and go, defense attorneys putting on a show. Old district attorney thought she was tight, came in to visit her tonight. They said justice was blinded by her sins. As the trial spun, no one wins. Endless trial like a river flows. Truth and lies, nobody knows. Corruption, strict tight as a vice. In this endless trial, we pay the price.
Defending the voiceless, the wrongly accused, facing the foe whose motives are abused. In the courtroom battlefield, they'll stand tall, unveiling corruption, they'll conquer it all. Against the corrupt prosecutors' wrath, with words like weapons cutting like a path, challenging system that's filled with lies, seeking truth with justice in their eyes.
Heyo, and welcome to the afternoon of day 139. And will it improve from this morning? Yeah, some interesting stuff happened this afternoon. Some interesting stuff happened, at least. There are quite a few breaks and sidebars and stuff. So this recap of afternoon should not take that long. Shouldn't. Depends on the level of snark from me. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. So let's just get on with it. This is the afternoon of day 139, and I'm presenting this through Fox 5 News, who does not have that really annoying banner at the bottom. That I can add on my own. Hello, folks. Hello, Krista. Hello, Jar, Sydney, Jessica, Krista, Casper, Gwendolyn, Chris. Yeah, that's Krista again. All right, let's skip forward to when stuff happens.
I had asked you to, or you had taken on the responsibility of reaching out to the APD to see if the gang unit had any kind of a, like, I think they call it a black book or any kind of written thing like that. Were you able to find anything out?
So, Your Honor, my conversation with APD gang unit, in my memory was, any YSL specific related, like roll up central investigation or larger report.
What this prosecutor represent here is completely false, in my opinion. This has been brought up before with Judge Glanville. And Judge Glanville ordered the prosecution to produce everything, even the notes on a napkin, more or less. So when he represents, oh, we only look for these broad kind of things, complete misrepresentation.
Oh, that's fair. You're welcome, Mr. Weinstein. So when I talked with APD gang unit, the 5 gang experts that the state,
Mhm,
I believe we had Daubert hearings on all of them, or almost all of them.
mhm.
Underwood, Belknap, Gaither, Dennis, and Viverito. Those are the 5 that any centralized, anything outstanding besides one specific case, and that they don't have any additional roll up. I think an important thing too is, of course, the DA's office brought the RICO indictment. So
Right.
there is in discovery this case supplemental report from a DA office.
Case supplemental report. Now, I assume they have been asking, well, Mr. Sprinkle said he received a bunch. So where is it? Where are they? And now here he is misrepresenting. And I don't understand why this is not a bigger deal than it is. In my personal opinion, if they can't produce the reports that the witnesses are testifying about, they can't testify about it, in my opinion.
Investigator. And so they investigated these crimes
Right.
individually. So other than what is connected with the individual APD case number for the overt or counts, there is not some larger, the closest I've seen is this case supplemental. And there's, I think, like a 10 or 12 page. It has the peanut icon on it from Gaither and Dennis, and Sprinkle's report, which is specifically
Right.
about Donovan Thomas's murder, is those are the 3 most extensive, other than just a report pertaining to a homicide or an armed robbery.
Okay, so is there any written gang unit kind of, here are our policies on how we determine who's in a gang or anything like that?
I have not specifically asked that question. They certainly have the Georgia gang criteria that they follow, so I can
Okay,
speak with them about that. And I'm sure, well, not sure, but from speaking with them, I'm quite positive it's going to be aligned with the first witness, Detective Belknap.
right.
That slideshow was built around how he was trained
Yeah.
to.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind just asking, and was there anything else beyond like what their policies are, policy manual? Any kind of gang manual they might have?
Or any methodologies or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
Any methodologies, any of their processes.
Any
things of that
kind of
nature.
manual, any kind of written, anything they've got about.
And here is how this trial started out corrupt. Daubert hearings in early 2023. Why wasn't this produced back then? Why were they allowed to be rolled up as experts? Well, except Miss Gaither, who they had a Daubert hearing in front of the jury, which is a appellate issue of its own. Why is it so hard for the prosecution to actually produce crucial information that should have been in the defense's hands the moment the prosecution said they were ready for trial in December of 2022?
How they go about things.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And can you get back to us fairly quickly on that?
I will, I'll leave court and make some phone calls, Your Honor, and try to get anything I can find on that topic.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, what I'd like is, I'm making all this as an example. Detective Gaither speaks with Kenneth Copeland. It's the 10th day of June 2015. In an interrogation room, it's video audio. And Mr. Copeland states that John Doe is a member of this gang. Well, then the gang investigators, they say, well, we have from a confidential, reliable source that John Doe is this gang member. So now it's a confirmed, documented gang member. And now we wind up on the witness stand with Detective Gaither saying this person's in this gang. I want to go behind who said that? Where is that documentation? Because it's not
And
just.
there may or may not be any documentation. So can you inquire into that as well?
Actually, Judge,
Yes. Let's, Miss Gaither, you who slept with a family member of an alleged gang member, how did you get that information? By sleeping with the family member of an alleged gang member?
Mr. Steele has been given, and there has been provided, in this case, that actually was addressed earlier
Okay.
in this trial. When there is documentation that a person is a gang member, the whole issue of where is it documented came up way before Your Honor began presiding over this case. The expert who is on the stand talking is allowed to tell, that is the reason that we have the questions that we have about what they base their, how they determine that someone is a gang member. We've talked about the standard operating procedures. I believe that's even been given to the defense, APD's standard operating procedures, which have the 6 criteria that they use.
Yeah, they're aware of that.
So this idea that where it's documented, we've even given them the gang profiles of each of the defendants in this case and of people who are rival gang members. We've literally turned all of that over.
Yeah, I mean, what they're looking for, it sounds like, is, is there something where they say, okay, John Doe said that Joe Blow is if gang.
Those types of things, partly it's like in the gang profile encounters that they have that document what it is they're basing, in part, what it is they're basing these classifications on. They're listed. They're literally listed in the gang profile. And then on top of that, you have encounters with family members, interviews, things that aren't going to be all in the profile, but things upon which they can base their.
Sure, and if
So why isn't it written down? Person A. You can redact names. Person A, family member of this, or you can have it sealed. Just show it. But you can't, because you probably shredded everything, including the files that Mr. Sprinkle received, in my opinion.
they have written it down,
Opinion.
then it needs to be produced. And anything that is more general than that, as we already described, needs to be produced.
Yes, Your Honor. And
Okay.
I think that I think.
And as I think I mentioned when we were discussing this before, obviously any of the defense attorneys are free at any time to ask those questions of any of these, gang unit members or any other law enforcement officer. Y'all can get together with them at any time and, see if they want to talk to you. So y'all can always do that too. All right. So anything else before we get the witness back in and the jury back in?
Except that Miss Gaither, Detective Gaither, after some mail conversations and directly after a meeting with the prosecution, refused to talk to the defense. How about that? Just after she acknowledged that she did write her own reports that are now missing.
I am looking at the next timestamp, and I just wanted to make sure that I started the right place. So if the judge.
All right. Well, you can be doing that while we have everybody get back in their places.
And as recap, I'm playing in 1.25 or even 1.5.
Sergeant Gator.
1.5 if possible. I will skip through pauses, breaks, and stuff like that. And as you will notice, I do not have midstream ads. And in return, I ask of you to like the stream and subscribe if you haven't. All right, thank you. Let's continue.
To come back in. And I'll make sure to avert the cameras till she's in place, please.
All right. Skipping ahead.
Oh, 08.
Playing in 1.5. Let's see if it's too fast, just say so, and I will go back to 1.25. And can you hear court? I have a sound booster on.
25708. But before that, I'm going to ask a few questions.
Hi, Siobhan. And hi, Whitney. Vet.
Sergeant Gaither, during your interview with Mr. Zachary, did he talk to you about what he understood Kelvin Treadwell's role or relationship to Jeffrey Williams as it pertained to his artistry was concerned?
Yeah.
Sustained.
Okay.
Drinking games. Friday will be an Oktoberfest themed panel show. So there are possibilities. It's Tuesday and I work tomorrow. So, yep.
Your Honor, may I approach with Mr. Steele about his objection? Specifically about, may I approach?
And that gets us to sidebar counter number 280. Yeah, that didn't take long. Skipping ahead. Oh, come on.
Zachary, Sergeant Gaither, did Quindarius Zachary tell you that he knew Kelvin Treadwell as Thug's road manager?
Yes.
And is that the same Kelvin Treadwell that you saw on scene in the surveillance footage with the Browns Mill Road video at the time of the Dexter Montgomery shooting?
Yes.
Did you ask Quindarius Zachary whether Mr. Treadwell still drives that white Nitro?
Yes.
And when you asked him that question, was the white Nitro the Dodge Nitro that is seen in the surveillance footage at the time of the Dexter Montgomery shooting?
Yes.
And did Quindarius Zachary tell you, no, he let Nard fuck that up?
Yes.
Did you understand that to mean Nard had wrecked the Nitro?
Yes, I believe you stated that.
And the Nard we're talking about, is that the same Nard that you identified in 503 Yankee?
That Quindarius identified?
Yes, that Quindarius identified.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to now advance. During your interview with Quindarius Zachary, did you talk about the shooting of a Frida Reed's home?
Yes.
Is that Rayshawn Bennett or Lucci's mother?
Yes.
Did Quindarius Zachary indicate where he was at the time of the shooting?
He did, but I can't recall exactly where.
Okay. If I show you a portion of the transcript of your interview with him, will that refresh your memory?
Sure.
Okay. Just one second.
Well, she can't be seen for reasons. We don't know exactly what those reasons are, but I assume she doesn't want to be seen, even though she has been on TV, she's been plastered all over social media before her testimony here. The Atlanta PD still has her picture up, and her current employer with full name and picture also up. So I don't know why we're not allowed to show Miss Gaither's face.
What about Nard? Like, what's his demeanor like? Like, what's his personality like? I was the one that like Moonson, like on go with, ain't gonna really talk to him. Moonson, everybody know Moonson on go. Like, everybody know him. So it's like they old.
Yeah, most of these are really,
so
really
like,
not interesting.
They know they value, but yeah, ain't nobody gonna much fuck with him. Yeah, everybody really gonna mill Moonson. Right? If he went to hang with Wood, right? Everybody gonna mill Nard because they know. What about Doo-Wop? Fit into this because he at home. So give me Yak folks. Yeah. Do you know Doo-Wop? No, I didn't know. Like, I don't know. I didn't know his name Doo-Wop. Yeah, like that. So, I was.
And Your Honor, we're stopping at 256:40. As we advance to let me ask you this, Sergeant Gaither. As far as you know, Nard and Moonton, their ages, are they older than, significantly younger than Mr. Zachary? What did Mr. Zachary and you mean when you're talking about Nard and Moonton being old heads?
I knew at this time that Mr. Sledge Moonton, he was at least maybe 15 years older than Quindarius. I knew Nard maybe roughly 10 years older than Quindarius.
Okay.
At this time in this interview.
And when talking about Doo-Wop, do you know or remember what name Doo-Wop, what his given name is?
I do.
What is it?
Justin Cobb,
Justin Cobb?
COBB.
Thank you. During the interview with Mr. Zachary, did Mr. Zachary describe OG Bentley's house for you all or his spot for you all?
He did.
And did he describe it saying it was a brick house with a fence around it?
Yes.
All right. Zachary tell you whether or not he knew any relationship between OG Bentley and Donovan Thomas's sister?
Mr. Zachary stated that Donovan Thomas's sister had a child with Kelvin Treadwell.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to restart at 2:58:18.
Y'all know that? Anybody know?
I know a nigga.
What a nigga.
Sure.
That's like Swill or something.
What's the house look like on Oak Street?
That fancy yellow brick house.
Yeah. Any cars in the front? Broke down cars?
Nah, they ain't got this spot no more. Might shut it up. They said we looking.
Is that when
That's that little corner little house. It looks like a studio or something. No, I don't see no corner. You know what y'all talking about? I think it's yellow. They got a little studio in it. It's like how they sit next to the park. It's on the back side. I think narcotics just hit the house like maybe a few months ago. Nah, that was bowling spot. You know what y'all talking about, right? They said top of the hill on the corner. Yeah, like right in the corner. Yeah. Okay. That bowling spot.
describe it a little more. Fence, brick house.
That's it.
What else? Like got a driveway?
They got a driveway.
What color is it?
The driveway?
The house.
The house brick. Like
Red brick, brown brick.
brown brick, little brown brick. What end of Oak Drive? Like what is it closest to? You know, you make right at McDonald's. You go all the way up to the red light. Make that right, about like the fourth or fifth house on the left. Fourth or fifth house on the left. What else? The candlelight right here, they spot right here. Is next door to the candlelight? Yeah. Okay. Why did you end up going down Florida with them if you know that they did this? You had nothing to do with it. Go down for the show, just go down there. I didn't think they taking her down there for that, girl. You know what I mean? Like girl had a show down there. So y'all just went for the show. Yeah. See, I told when they tell me to stay down there for a few days, we came back. But most of them already up there. Most of them ain't go. Most of them ain't big. They ain't going nowhere.
Answer this question. So what was the mood like when y'all was down there? You said it was boring, but what was the conversation like? Like what was y'all, ain't nobody bring it up at all or what?
Yeah.
You can speak on.
So we just ain't going so far. I looked on some altar.
What do you thought they were gonna get y'all down there? What was Thug like?
Shit, he know me.
He ain't get no fuck.
I mean, he kills her like, why did they kill Nut? Like, but then down like they told me that Nut said it's a goal. It really would be holding back stuff. Why? I don't know, like, he'll put us in, but it really don't have anything to do with it.
I'm pausing at 3:01:02.
When Mr. Zachary said that, when he told you they were scared, when Dennis asked what was the mood like, did he mention anybody besides Woody being afraid and just laying on the sofa?
Well, sustained is to best evidence.
Okay. Did you know who Quindarius Zachary meant when he said, while Woody was laying on the sofa, all of us are going to the mall and everything? Who is the all of us? Did you understand him to mean?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Your Honor,
Sustained unless there's a basis.
I asked, who?
Yeah, I heard what you asked.
I'll ask a different question.
Okay.
At any point ever, after telling you that Thug asked, why did they kill Nut? Did Quindarius Zachary give you any other reason besides Nut saying whoop? Your Honor, I would ask to approach as to the answer that I have so that I don't.
Is it basically the same thing we talked about just a minute ago or something different?
It's something different.
All right.
Woody just ain't on so far. I'm just on some.
Just now, did you hear Mr. Zachary say Woody just on the sofa? All of us going to the mall and everything?
Yes.
And if there's something you heard differently and remember differently, will you please correct me?
Sure.
Was there anything, you sort of paused a little bit, was there anything that you wanted to correct or change in what?
I was just replaying it in my head what he said.
Thank you.
What do you thought they were gonna get y'all down there? What was Thug like?
And just now, did Detective Dennis ask Mr. Zachary what was Thug like at 30040?
So if there's something that is actually really hard to understand, then I don't mind if you try to
That is the,
get confirmation or whatever about what was actually said.
thank you. That is,
Make sure we don't do it with every.
we are not.
Not.
Thank you. Is that what Detective Dennis was asking, what Thug was like?
Yes.
He ain't get no fuck.
I mean, he killed her, like, he like, why did he kill Nut? He's like, but then, that I guess they told him that Nut said it's a cold. It really would be holding back stuff.
And in the portion we just played up to 30.
How comfortable is the Bucky's onesie? Well, you see me here with my sports coat and my t-shirt, but I actually have the Bucky's onesie on my lower body because it's so comfortable.
055. After Detective Dennis said he didn't give a fuck, did you hear or did Quindarius Zachary say during the interview? I mean, he cared, but like, why did they kill? But like, he asked, why did they kill Nut? And then that's when they told him that Nut said woo. And it's a go.
That they were on go. Yes.
That what now?
That they were on go. Yes.
Okay.
Did it say woo or
And
who?
after that, did Mr. Zachary say, Woody really be holding back? And later on explain.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Picking up at 30055.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I just posted a link in the chat, and this is my merch shop. Just in case you are going to Atlanta, you need this. It is your not an unindicted co-conspirator t-shirt. Just to make sure that you will not be dragged into court and forced to testify. I just had to do it. And I also have the free Thug mug with not an unindicted co-conspirator. So that is on the link now. I've been thinking about it a lot, and yeah, so I just did it. I do not claim copyright over the not an unindicted co-conspirator quote because it's too funny. I don't even have my my trademark on it, so it's not trademarked. It's not copyrighted. So buy from me if you want to. If you want to make your own, go right ahead and do it. I would prefer if you buy from me. I would. All right, let's get back to trial.
I don't know, like, he'll put us in, but it really don't have nothing to do with us. Like, he was like, they said something about you. Like, so they said something about me. Like, to rev him up. You mean like to just rev somebody else to be down to do some shit? Yeah. Like, it really be him, but it's like push off on. Like,
It's like you asked about me and I bring gun into it, so I got somebody behind my back.
Yeah. So, why initially did it come out that
Hi, Christine.
basically they were trying to kill Woody and shooting up all his spots? Like, I'm just trying to grab what Woody did. I mean, but why would they think Woody has Woody done something to them previously? They say, Woody had shot at Gucci Studio, Metropolitan. Metropolitan where? In studio, with Thug Studio. Well, it's in Thug Studio, but where he be at? Studio is. I don't know what studio it is. I think it's Technic Studio. I don't know his name. Johnny over there though. I was down about 2 times. So supposedly Woody shot a Gucci Studio. Yeah. Which side of that? Got studio. Them folks do stuff being out now. I don't know if it's the same studio or not. I mean, but do you know what is it on the same side as the vault? That's the vault. What's the vault? The vault is the studio with Thug. Nah, it's on this side. Like what TIG is? TIG, that's studio. Oh, okay, well, say TIG, we don't know. So they shot up TIG studio. Yeah, Rich Homie was out there. Right. And then when they shot it killed, when they first shot it killed, when I told you him and Moonton, right. That why I was beat, like, that one really escalated. That one just guns up for both sides. So who shot Kale? Who shot him? Tay. Trevante? No, who was? That's all I know. Tay said him and little partner seen him. Yo, he was in February or something. They found him. Then they found him from West End. He was an ugly girl or something.
Who was with Trevante?
Yeah, partner, he said everything.
Who was Hot Sauce?
Hot Sauce.
You know anybody by the name of Hot Sauce? Go by Hot Sauce? So the fight in Crucial, did that happen where Moody got jumped on?
Yeah, they had him before like that. That was like right before, like a few days before, right?
That Monday.
Look like killed on Saturday. Yeah, I was saying about 5 6 days.
So that Monday he gets jumped on by Kale now. Did they shoot up any other spots? Did they shoot at him downtown?
Downtown?
The third girl you met get shot up at the hotel? So after this, so what happened after Woody get jumped on? So he get jumped on?
Thug stayed in the club. And then, me and Thug stayed in the club, all went outside. So, what's it called? But D,
what's it called?
What?
You said they went outside with what's it called?
Get done. Now they did get me done on Thug walking out there. Yeah, so he money good.
Right.
And then, what's it called?
Did they jump on Bloody J?
Yeah, they jumped. I just said it. They jumped on Bloody J. Chance on them. They pulled out. Killed him already gone. So we ran up the street. Went to their car, meet Thug, and they. I'm gonna call it Drake Thug and R&B myself. And Wood out might have on the side of the street by church. Went over Bloody J on the right there. Like right there, they started shooting up.
So it started that night, basically.
The shooting, I was just like they tried to kill him. It didn't happen.
So Nuts murder basically was all really a month. Really, we was a month behind.
The shit was already going on.
This seems like it's the two officers, the Detective Squirrel Brain and Detective Gaither, who more or less, this is what we want to know, please tell us. And I can almost bet they know he's making crap up. But they want a case. And if the prosecution back then was anything like today, well, as long as we can make people testify, we have a case. Or plea deals.
Yeah, it didn't like just happen. It was stuff was already going on in November, December, and it just kind of bled over to the actual murder in January.
So now, while y'all in Miami, Woody's family house is getting shot up.
He got scared, tripping.
As he should be. Wouldn't you be scared if I shot up Summer house, Kelly house, your dad's house, your grandma's house? Wouldn't you be scared?
But if somebody shoot towards my mom, that's what I'm going to do.
What about Summer? Because clearly you just said they shot at Summer. You got out of bed to go deal with that.
Somebody shoot at Summer, I'm going to jail.
What about your sister?
Fuck up. I'm going to be mad at it now. No, my mom's home, they always go.
What about grandma?
Grandma.
Exactly. So like that, one of the point I'm making is that
stopping at 30609
Sergeant, I'm going to take you back and ask you,
She keeps calling her sergeant. That was just, I don't know. Maybe she got that last promotion before she was forced to quit. I don't care. She's detective. At the time of the 2014-2015, she was detective. And I also saw a picture of her. She actually received Investigator of the Year award in 2015. And when I saw that, I just had to laugh, because if the Dennis Thorpe, Gaither, if these are Atlanta PD's finest enough to get awards, imagine. I can't. Please do. Imagine how shit the rest of them are. And now you might know why Atlanta have a crime problem.
about certain portions of the video that were just played.
Kelly house, your dad's house, your grandma's house, what did you say?
Who I'm minus on South Street by church. When the blood by itself. Then the who I'm minus on South Street by church. Break up in that big drink.
Your Honor, may I ask the witness a question to establish for the record why it is and what it is that I'm replaying?
You can try, sure.
Sergeant Gaither, during the portion of the interview that was just played, were portions of what Mr. Zachary said, and specifically after he was asked about what started.
This should be a 403 objection, because she asked her, then she played it, and now she is asking again.
The beef between YSL and If Gang, and why it was that they were trying to shoot at Woody. Were you able to hear today on this screen what it was that Mr. Zachary said Woody had done as it related to the Metropolitan, the studio on Metropolitan?
Yes.
And in that video, did Mr. Zachary say?
This is just repeating what we've already heard. If the jurors can't hear it, the jurors know to ask the court if they can rehear it.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the court's instructions and I'd ask to be allowed to do what the court said that it would allow me to do.
Didn't say anything.
Your
We're
Honor.
listening to a recording. Then we're listening again with Ms. Love repeating what the recording allegedly says. I'm not conceding she's saying it right. And asking the witness whether she heard it. She says, yes, I'm objecting.
Your Honor, I believe that this is the same mode of interrogation Mr. Steele used with one of the previous witnesses while listening to Mr. Kenneth Copeland's
Oh, you
video. The
twat.
state objected.
Oh,
It was
you
overruled.
twat. Your Honor, Mrs. Steele did the same thing. That, yeah, I'm quite sure I'm very close to imitating Miss Love's voice. Jesus.
And I've asked to be allowed to ask this witness about certain portions of this interview. I have not done this
I
consistently.
don't actually recall the state objecting on this basis and that being overruled.
I objected that he was not asking a question. He was reading portions of the transcript, and the court said, I think he's going to ask him, is that what he said?
Okay, well, that is not the objection that has now been made. And based on that objection, I have to sustain it.
Okay. And Your Honor, the objection being cumulative or what is being sustained so that I don't?
Shut up. Sit down,
What
shut
was
up.
the last
Go,
thing y'all
move
said?
on.
I mean, I know you've said best evidence previously, and did you just say cumulative?
It's also cumulative, Your Honor.
Because we just heard.
We've heard it twice, and now
Your Honor,
Ms. Love is trying to
when
cash it.
Detective Gaither is off, or when Sergeant Gaither is off the stand, if there is a portion of this interview that the jurors are unable to.
For frick's sake, this is in front of the jury. This is in front of the jury. Sit down, shut up, move on.
Decipher, and they're not able to ask the person sitting there in the room, it's too late to have her come back and answer the questions. So unless the court or unless the defense is okay with the court inquiring whether the jury understands what's being said at a certain
Wait a
point, I'd
minute.
ask to be allowed.
Is the jury in? Or are they having a hearing? Did they send out the jury? Did I miss that? Because I can't imagine this being done in front of the jury. English only in the chat, please.
To ask her what she heard in the room at the time that the interview was held.
Objection, but if we're going to have speaking objections, I have one I'd like to say as well. That I believe is on behalf of the jury, as Ms. Love seems to be claiming she is speaking on behalf of. This is a waste of time hearing the same thing 3 times.
Well, it's not a waste of time if it can't be deciphered, but
A, if it can't be deciphered, then I don't think we need to hear it 3 times. It's indecipherable. But B, Ms. Love just asked Investigator Gaither, and she said she understood it. It was clear. So I don't know why we're rehashing it.
it's not really whether Sergeant Gaither can understand it or not. I mean, the evidence is being presented so that the jury can absorb it. And I don't know whether the jury can understand what's being said on it or not. Can y'all understand what's being said? Some of them can, some of them can't. Go ahead, Ms. Love.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna talk to Drake Thug on Carpet by itself.
At the timestamp that I stopped at, 3:04:45, did Mr. Zachary say, I'm in the car with Dre, Thug is in the Corvette?
Yes, he said Thug is in the gray Corvette.
In the gray Corvette.
Yes.
And was this still talking about January 6th?
Yes, at Club Crucial.
All right.
And Wood, I mean, right up on South Street by church. Went up later date on the right back, like right back, he started shooting up.
And did he just say, and that's when Woody and them all lined up on the side of the street by the church, waiting on Bloody J. And when Bloody J rode past, that's when they started shooting.
Yes,
Is there a church near Club Crucial?
it is.
Continue.
That night, basically.
The shooting, like, it didn't happen.
So Nuts murder basically was all really a month, we was a month behind.
The shit was already going on, yeah.
Okay.
It didn't like just happen. Stuff was already going on in November, December, and it just kind of bled over to the actual murder in January.
Okay. Advancing now to 3:06:32.
He tried to kill me, he didn't do it. So they just killed that person else for that movie, so he wanted to move.
That's it. It's right, quite right.
Yeah, who didn't care? Just like both of them, they gonna try to put it off on somebody. They gonna try to put it off on somebody. Say like I don't like you, but I know we had altercation and we shooting at each other.
Right.
Then somebody on my side get shot, but you didn't do it.
You think that it was them just to get more people against you?
Yeah. Right.
Well, what's Montauk and Kale's beef?
Who wants some?
Antonio. Who shot?
All right. Did you understand, Mr. Zachary, at any point to say, my side gets shooting, their side get to shooting? Start talking about that.
I don't think I understood a lot of what this little portion was.
Okay.
It's a little distorted.
Did you hear Mr. Zachary say after asking what Moontoon and Kel's beef were, did you hear Mr. Zachary say trivia?
Trivia, yes.
During the course of your investigation, did you look into a shooting at an Entrevia Smith's house?
Yes.
I'm going to advance to the next time. And I'm going to go to 309.
What kind of court you told me, Montauk got?
He had that problem. What kind of car you drive? Yeah, running truck.
When was this incident?
Who got a great
Moontoon Jake got that problem. He came out too.
Who got a great
I don't know. His girl don't drive the road. The great mountain. His girl. Nah, his girl boulevard. His girl got a she used to have a mountain. What she think? Not I know her. Not I ain't know her. This was like recent. Like he had a rental Malibu. It was a rental. Yeah, a Malibu. Not when did he have a rental? Shoot, 4 went on tour. When did y'all go? I don't know when y'all go on tour. I think went on tour back in April or something. Back in April.
Yeah. So let's get to this. Who shot up Lucci?
Sergeant Gaither, did Detective Dennis just ask Mr. Zachary, did you all discuss during the interview, and at this point, the shooting of Lucci's mother's house?
Yes.
All right. And is Lucci the Rayshawn Bennett that you spoke about earlier?
Yes.
What address did Miss Reed live at? Or just the street name, not the full address?
Hill Street, Southeast.
Did you all investigate a shooting at that location?
Investigated a couple of them.
Do you remember the dates of those shootings?
Not off the top of my head, no. It was during this time.
Do you remember whether
maybe
one occurred in
February.
January?
Correct.
Were they both after Donovan Thomas was murdered?
Yes.
Six.
Those are nephew.
The book is in jail right now. Quentin Pittman. So, how did, cause that was the gun that you had, that you got caught with.
No, that's one gun.
So, how did Woody end up with that gun that day?
We said boot on her, big boot on her. And we like, hey, fucking shit, that's right.
Okay.
And then when they came back, they ain't tell what they did.
What kind of car they gave him? What?
It was in that white Charger.
Woody Chargers? Okay.
And then the boy, Mushu, who he be Mushu?
Yeah. Yeah.
He called who? Like, When Wooden got back, he called Wooden, like, Wooden got in. Wooden like, what? Like, somebody just shot up with your mama house, and mama got shot. Wooden like, don't tell me how they did that. Cause they come back and say that. Don't tell me how they did that. Then that when Wooden got scared again, cause Moose, I got 10,000 who else did that.
Who had the Monsoon gun?
Wooden.
So they actually came back and said they did it, or y'all just assumed it?
No, he said they did it. He probably said it when Wooden, like I told you, Wooden got scared when they got 10,000. Like, man, we just shot up with your mama house.
So because Lucci was close with Nut, they just
Lucci was hanging with Kill.
Right.
Look, I told you talking about Lucci Kill. Like, let them both get killed. I don't know what make them do that.
Did you know that?
Yeah, he's even $20 stuff. You know, I put up on some gas money, phone bills, doing stuff like that.
So he was like a big homie.
Yeah, he cool with the whole city. I'm telling you, everybody said.
So everybody speak highly of him, but he still was a street nigga. So yeah, that understands.
He's trying to, but he's like every time I see him, so I feel like no gas in the car, so he can turn it off.
So they look at you like the like,
Yeah, I ain't no harm.
Basically. So
Your Honor,
Yes.
out of an abundance of caution, I'd ask to approach Mr. Shaw.
All right.
And they are approaching. Which brings us to sidebar counter 281. All right.
Your Honor, I can play that portion. We're at it if the court will allow me to play it for the court so that you can hear it while you're reading it, if that will lend any
No,
assistance.
I mean, what I have in my notes is that this bracketed part 112.17 through 113.12 was in. What I've got written next to it is okay.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Shart, I think what you're raising now is, does this sort of undo the not including Shannon's name in this whole conversation? Is that right?
Correct, because it is, to me anyways, difficult to discern whether Quindarius Zachary is speaking out of what he observed versus what Mr. Copeland may have said when he spilled the beans. And that's my concern because earlier today we argued that certain things would come out to protect the hearsay issues.
So let me ask, on page 113, lines 11 and 12, at least on my copy, when he's talking about, I don't know how they went unintelligible, got in the car, I just know gun unintelligible, what does that actually say?
Your Honor, if the court will permit me just
All
to
right.
advance to that part.
All right, let's just listen to it now. And we may have listened, I'm sure we probably listened to it before, but I didn't jot it down.
did Shannon, you think Shannon had on that?
I don't know, they had AK. And another 223. The 223 and the AK. I know they had a big AK. That was poking them.
The AK was?
Yeah.
And what Shannon had?
He had one of the 223.
Oh, yeah, the AK.
I don't know how they got in the car. I didn't know gun. He looked like
So answer this question. So when we were in
That
court,
very last part again.
Okay.
answer this question. So when we were in court,
No, before.
and you found this
Hang on,
question.
hang on, stop it.
Hey,
Okay.
another 223. The 223 and the AK. I know they had a big AK. That was poking them.
The AK was?
Yeah.
And what Shannon had?
He had one of the 223.
Oh, yeah, the AK.
I don't know how they got in the car. I didn't know gun. He looked like
So answer this question. So when we were in court,
Your Honor,
and you found out,
I believe that he said, I don't know how they got it in the car. I just know the guns they had afterwards.
Can you play just?
You're not a witness, Miss Love. You are not the witness. You cannot testify to what you hear. Unless they threw out the jury when I wasn't watching.
That part, again, not, and I know it may be hard to get to that, but.
So
Or-
I'm going to rewind it 5 seconds and let's see if we can capture just that part.
Or are, damn,
so when we were in court, and you found out that gun,
I'm going to 3:11.
did I miss when they sent the jury out?
yeah, that came to.
That's the hard part when they are inserting all these, oh, you can't film when we are having sidebars.
I didn't know they got the call. I didn't know guns. I'm like,
So answer this question. So when we were in court,
I don't know what he's saying, and I don't expect you to ask, did he say such and such? If you want to ask, what did he say? That's one thing, but,
Okay,
Yeah,
seems like they are having this as a hearing.
that's in.
Yep. It's a hearing. Jury's out, apparently.
Listened to this and reported back and said it was in. I'm not the one asked to approach, so I don't agree with the ruling, but
Understood.
I'm agreeing with what was
Yeah.
ruled upon.
So why were we approaching?
Just out of an abundance of caution, Judge. I mean, I don't have, I just wanted
To
to,
make sure what the ruling was?
yes.
Okay. All right, well, we know now, so is the jury by chance ready? Not yet? Okay, anybody who needs to use the bathroom, please do it quickly.
And they are taking a bathroom break. Dun, dun, dun. Best thing with recaps, you can skip through it.
what gun did Shannon, you think Shannon had on that?
I don't know, they had AK and another 223. The 223 and the AK. I know they had a big AK. That was poking on them.
The AK was?
Yeah.
And what Shannon had?
Yeah, one of the 223.
Oh, yeah, the AK.
I don't know how they got in the car. I didn't know guns. But
So answer this question. So when we were in court, and you found out that gun came back to Lucci Mama, what happened since then? Because clearly I know you didn't.
Someone told me, man, someone like me start hanging with them, and don't tell them for who gun it was. I was gonna tell, but I didn't. So, where they getting all these damn guns from? Because I know you only purchased a couple of them. Where are all these 223s, where are these guns at, and where they getting them from? I already have guns. You think they already got them? I mean, I know they really bringing them out tonight, like you, right? We say, Thug house. Thug already gone. We see, Kill them pull up in the driveway. His house, his apartment, come on ticket. We see, I was not one. They kill. I see Gucci had Rick.
Hey, cat raid. Hey, cat raid. Ah, hello, folks. Hello, folks. We are doing recap of the Fuster Clock that is today. And so welcome to this with Snark and everything. And oh yeah, I got a new merch. The link is pinned on the top of the chat. And it is my not an unindicted co-conspirator t-shirt. Not an unindicted co-conspirator t-shirt. Just in case you are in Atlanta, they can grab you and throw you in and force you to testify. So now you can Say it out loud. And on the back, free Thug. So this, and also a mug. Free Thug, not an unindicted co-conspirator. So the link is on the top of the chat. I do not claim copyright over this, or I don't even have my trademark on it. So if you buy it from me, excellent. If you want to make your own, go right ahead. But I would prefer if you bought it from me. All right, back to the trial.
I like that. They part they go forward this some car, that some car. They go forward this some car with a few men and pull back up. And then when we went out of town, well I just some car it stole out. She man got my dad dropped off. I ain't getting that car. They just bought it too. Right. I don't know they still around or not. Right. So what I said? When y'all went out of town, they shot it Kill shot his son at Christmas. That was with your sister, right? With my sister. What that?
It was
Trion.
Yeah, Trini and some of his cousins, and they met at Christmas and killed, and Herbie had work.
They say Kill thought I was in the car, that way he pushing. But you don't kick on that car. Right, but you wasn't in the car, you was in my right, you was. So now you got these too, for somebody else to see. Because they shooting at your girl, you really ain't got shit to do with it. You just hanging with the wrong people at this point. That night, when you guys talk that first time, like, they over let you ride. Like, when they go do something.
So it's like now they popping your chair.
Because when nobody, like, everybody else, he locked up or something. Boy, oh boy. What, do you remember what day you got arrested for that gun? Like, May 7th. Like,
where are your guns at?
I don't know. Woody told me that he lost. I had bought one. I came back. I bought the 762, the Draco.
Yes.
I had that for a minute. Then I had owed somebody some money. I had left it. I had owed one of Woody friends money. So I left it. I told him to tell him hold that, so I paid him. So I see Thug this money from him. So. He's like, who is this? Because we need that gun. Who? You're the gun you bought. No. You had. I'm getting confused. Woody had his gun. You had mine.
Answer this question. When you bought that Draco that you talking about for Woody.
Nah, I bought it for me. I bought when they shot Sean Cole.
So you bought it for yourself?
Yeah, put it in Sean Cole right with it.
So how Woody end up with it?
I owed somebody some money.
So you sold it to him?
Nah, I just like hold guns until I get money.
Right.
It was like I hold it in my house.
So was you ever gonna buy it back? Did you ever attempt to buy it back?
I see Thug like Thug ain't coming around because he got too much going on. He going down for some bullshit.
Right.
So he stopped coming around. And then that when I bought the other one. I bought the other one a few days later. Right. The 223. And who did you buy that for? Because I know it wasn't for you. I bought it for Woody. How much did you pay for it?
So you bought it directly for him?
He said like he said what he gonna leave in the house with his baby mama.
What's the best guess for?
You want that kind of car? Yeah, that's what's on, man. Yeah. What's up? Go. Give me the long glove, man. What are you doing? Yeah. What you feel about the tape?
I'm starting at 3:16:06 and I'm going to 3:16:21.
Yeah, think about it. Wayne get money. Birdman ain't gonna.
Well, we can fast forward on that.
Do you think that
Yes, those are my short form rules. Don't be an butthole and don't get my channel cheated.
3:16:36. And I'm going to 3:16:42. If there are no objections. starting up at 3.
Hang on, Mr. Sharp. I haven't ordered it to be played anyway. Okay, I don't know what's being skipped, but
If Mr. Steele lets me know which portion he wants to tell me the timestamp, I'll play it.
do we need to approach again?
I'm referring to it. If,
Okay, well, I mean, she needs to give the timestamps for purposes of the record, but are you able to do both the document?
given that I don't know what portion Mr. Steele is asking to come in, I can't tell.
So
I can simply say we are attempting to do number 25. So
I mean, that would work in terms of letting them know what it is. Does that help if she just refers to the number?
and I do want to do the time for the record, but
Yeah, I mean, you need to, but will that help y'all? If she refers to the number of what it was we all were referencing when we were going over the evidence? I need you to use the mic.
I understand what the state's saying about 25. I think that there is a portion in between 24 and 25, which is found on the top of page 123.
Can y'all come up here for just a second? And you can just stay where you are. You won't understand what it is that we're saying anyway.
That would bring us to sidebar counter 282. Oh, this is so ridiculous. And skipping it.
All right, Mr. Sharp, do you want to just come over?
I will
and
not
counsel
take a shot
table
for
and
each
y'all try to
sidebar.
Work with Ms. Hilton or Ms. Knight on what needs to get played. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a
way
decent
y'all can
drinker,
listen to
but
it
I
and
will
get the
not take a shot
timestamps
for
and
each sidebar.
sort it out.
to be clear, John, let me also put on the record, the part
Hang on.
the part that I stopped at was 3:16:34. At 3:16:34, and honestly, I have on my own transcript like a hard line, take out. If this is not something that everyone on the other side wants excluded, I'll happily play it. But the part that I stopped at, it says, answer this question. Did Birdman know anything about that murder?
All right, let's just listen to the tape. And the tape is what it is and figure out what the timestamp is. Because I think we all agree what's in and what's out. We just don't seem to agree on what the timestamps are.
I'm starting where I'm going to go back to 3:16:20. All right, to 3:16:20. All right. So 3:16:20, I'm going to play.
Good. Yeah, think about it. Wayne get money. Birdman ain't going to jail for nobody.
All right, well, we gonna fast forward on that.
Do you think that Thug ordered that on murder against nothing? No. I told him they're trying to get him name. So there's like no sanctions.
There it is, right there. The court's ruling, as I understand it, and I have documented, is that the part that the state just played, which is on 122, the bottom of 122, going to page 123, the transcript where it says, do you think that Thug ordered that on Nut, murder against Nut? And he says, nah. That was all coming in.
Right.
Okay. And then,
Correct.
and then when Zachary says, nah, I told they just trying to get a name.
That's
that-
out.
that's
The
out.
law is in, and the rest of it is out.
Correct.
Yes. And then it picks back up with the question. Right?
So there's no sanctions and all that's in.
Right, right.
So am I clear
Only part
that
out
there's a
is-
1 second part that's out? Because
Yes.
Judge, I'd ask to be allowed to play that because I am not, a second, it's going to take less than a second to say that, to stop it.
Doesn't matter.
Miss Love, your problems with delegating is not don't make it a defense problem. It's on you. If the ruling is that is out, then it's out and you solve it or just stop playing and we can move on with the trial. How about that, Miss Love?
That part's out.
I know, but what I'm saying, Your Honor, is I do not believe that.
Can you turn the volume down for that part? Because that would be fine. If you just gnaw and turn the volume down.
I can, yep. Because we had 316:34 to 316:41 out.
I
And
don't
that
know
was what they
the
agreed to.
timestamps are, but I know that line 7, murder against Nut, Zachary's answer, nah, is supposed to be in and the rest of it is out. And then it's Gator's question again.
So the nah stays in,
Correct.
but the rest of the sentence is out. And then it picks up after 5, 6 words.
Yes.
Evidence review doesn't work like that. But I'll, Your Honor, if the court would just give me a moment to just practice.
Okay. That works.
316.
They're trying to get.
And skip ahead a bit.
Gaither to refresh in the,
Oh,
or if it, in the interest of time, if she just instructs, or the court instructs rather, Detective Gaither to refresh her memory on it. Don't say the second part and just ask a question. Did you ask Mr. Zachary if Mr. Williams ordered the killing? And her answer would be no.
Your Honor, I don't think.
the defense is teaching the prosecution how to interview a witness. Yeah, that will go down well. That will go down well.
Zachary if Mr. Williams ordered the killing? And her answer would be no.
Your Honor, I don't think that the court would ever allow the state to interrupt cross-examination and instruct the defense on how to ask a question or examine a witness. So, Your Honor, he can get that out on cross. I'm not trying to hide anything. I will gladly play it all. So I'm going to do as the court instructs. I'm going to play it. I can pause it. I can hit mute. Either option is fine with me. But again, I do not want to be accused of running afoul unintentionally.
If you don't like being accused of running afoul, then don't be such an incompetent. See you next Tuesday. Okay? How about that?
Or intentionally of anything that the court ordered. So I'm going to do as the court directed.
ready to get the witness back in?
Yes.
I'm going to caution you, though, that if more than, like, if that whole thing ends up getting played, I'm not going to be happy.
AI designs a 5-pound super sticker. It's a cat saying hiya. And 4 pounds is about $22, I think. Now I almost missed what the judge said. Thank you so much, AI Designs. Thank you for your support of this channel.
Going to caution you, though, that if more than, like, if that whole thing ends up getting played, I'm not going to be happy. So make sure you don't do that.
I'm gonna make every effort. I want it on the record. I'm making every effort to comply with the court's instructions.
All right, well, you've been able to do it twice in practice without getting any critical part heard, so I expect you to be able to do it with the
Of course,
jury
you-
too.
Counsel can play it, but.
Huh?
They can play it themselves.
Let's see if she succeeds. And the jury's back in. Yeah, Linda, I don't get that she even dared to do this. I mean, she's walking a thin line, but she's been walking a thin line for her entire career. So what's new?
Thank you.
1627.
All right, well, we gonna fast forward on that.
Do you think that Thug ordered that on murder against nothing? I told him.
I'm stopping. I stopped at 3:16:41, and I'm going to pick. And I'm starting back up at 3:16:43.
There's like no sanctions. If some shit happens, and I'm from Chicago, so I know about gang life and all that stuff. So if there's something done without quote unquote.
You don't know shit about gang life just because you grew up in Chicago. You don't know shit. How do I know that? Because you still don't know shit about gang life.
Permission from the higher ups. It ain't no kind of who said so high. I mean,
pausing at 3:17:00. And resuming at 3:17:04.
Who am I to?
He wouldn't even understand what I said.
Who started?
My brother and Slug. Tay Slug. Yeah.
What about DJ?
They did it, cause they were around Thug. I'm telling you who started. Tay Slug and some, like 3 more of their friends. That these people that already grew up together who started. All of them started. Then they Slug, he loved Thug, so he told Thug what's going on, and Thug just ran with it.
So now it's almost, I guess because Thug initially was with Red Cartel, right? Well, he was rapping with Rock and all that.
I didn't know what he was rock.
Oh, Rock. Y'all confused me.
I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
But I told you, when everybody had fell out with Boo, I ain't saying like that, but they had fell out with Boo, because they said Boo snitching on Mo. And then that when they started YSL.
Just to kind of disassociate them.
But then I started back messing with Boo, and then you know I'm YSL.
So YSL is a gang, but it's also a club, like, correct?
Stopping at 3:18:18. Picking up at 3:00. During your interview with Mr. Zachary, do you all confirm that he knows Detective Thorpe from Crawford Long? Do you remember asking, you know Investigator Thorpe? I'm certain you went to Crawford Long.
Correct.
Okay. And does Quindarius Zachary acknowledge that he does know Detective Thorpe?
Yes, he acknowledges it, gives him a hug.
Did what now?
Gives him a hug.
Okay.
Tapped up.
And I'm going to advance, Your Honor, to 3:19:10. And picking back up at 3:19:11.
I'm sure there's some pictures. And you can say if you know them, you don't know them. Tell me how long you know them, and if they had anything to do with Dust Murder. Who's doing what, who said what. Okay? Cool with that? Yeah. Okay. Open that up and tell me exactly what you see.
Do what?
Okay. You mind if I sign this picture of me that's do what?
I'll spell it in. Y'all spell do what for you.
D-U-W-O-P. D-U-W-O-P. How long you been knowing him?
I ain't knowing that long.
Say
I feel like I'm
your name, you go in there.
my name? I thought you wanted to know.
Right. I'm just making sure that they say, how do you know that he said that's do what? That's your signature. Okay?
What day?
August 5th, 8/5, 2015.
8/5.
2015.
You walk with one of the guys in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Who is that?
No.
Right here, where it's white, you can see it's right now. How long you been on Nard?
Since I was about 12.
Say, who's his dad? You said you know his dad?
No, I know he did.
I mean,
You knew your dad.
you know, he knew
I
his
did
dad.
Montu know his Quindarius dad. Same name right here too.
Yeah, same thing.
Is he still locked up as far as you know?
Yeah, I think he got 2 years or something.
What about Duwop? You heard anything about him lately?
Nah.
You know if he out, but yeah.
They say he locked up.
They took $5,000. Okay. Who's that?
Yeah.
Put him right in here. Right yak or whatever. Why he came?
Probably a little darker.
Oh, that's even good.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Casper here. Let me know if you think differently, that this recorded interrogation is not helping the prosecution. Maybe Love is too focused on over controlling everything, so she doesn't see that this video is not helping her case. Yeah, she is too incompetent, got too much tunnel vision. And remember from yesterday, she might actually believe she's doing a good job. Which is incredibly, how incredibly stupid it actually sounds. She might actually believe she's doing a good job.
Oh, he's killing me.
That's it. Okay, Sam.
Group 10, yeah, they're going to 8/5, 2015. Who's that? How long you known Shannon?
About a year.
About a year. Keep on his t-shirt.
You got a nickname?
SB.
What that mean?
SB.
I mean, what does it stand for something?
Shannon Bad, I think.
Shannon Bernard.
That last name. So would you put SB or
Yeah, whatever you
Shannon.
want.
Or whatever you
Shannon?
You know Shannon.
Is it SHANON?
Yeah.
Sign your name if you want. I know you told them, but tell me, who told you what was going on?
Shannon, yeah.
Okay. Shannon and Yak told you what happened. Tell me exactly what they told you.
Shannon right here, they caught me. They gonna wait for, they gonna wait for me Gucci. Yeah, girlfriend. They did me, matter of fact, she know.
Bush, you know?
Yeah, she know.
Mm-hmm.
And, then they seen, look, Shannon told me that they seen Shannon was calling down bad.
Who's calling down bad?
Calling up down bad.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, they killed me.
did they say who was firing what gun?
Now I know, Shannon had 4-5.
Shannon had a 4-5.
Yeah. And I know some shit, they had put Draco with a show strap on.
Draco.
Yeah.
Okay, who had the Draco?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Where'd you see it?
Well, I seen Draco at, another had, bro, Clubhouse we made for really the day before.
The day before?
Before the murder or
The day before.
before the murder? No, I had it.
But I think Love driving.
No, I was driving.
Yeah.
You said it was an Infinity?
Yeah.
You remember the model?
G35.
G35.
Was it any one of their cars or was it somebody else's car?
Now they had, Thug manager had Randy.
The manager.
Had Randy.
You know his manager's name?
Amina.
Amina. You know her last name?
No.
You know where she landed from?
No.
So after the shooting, do you know what happened to the car and the guns?
Yeah, they dropped off at OG Pimp's front.
Do you know the guns still around or they got rid of them?
More likely they got rid of them. I think when they dropped off at Pimp's fight, Police got rid of them.
How do they normally get rid of guns?
I don't know. That's the first time they used to keep them.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did anybody get word to shooting up, or this was just an opportunity?
They just wanted the name.
They just wanted the name.
Correct. It used to be Willie Moulton going out shooting. They just wanted the name.
So did Woody slow down with all his bullshit? Or once Nut got killed, did Woody slow down with his stuff, or was he still?
Nah, when he seen that he had a lot of folk that ran with him, then he pumped back up.
Moody.
Yeah. But see, they might really know Shannon like that.
Again, when I'm listening to this, all I'm hearing is investigators feeding one person. We want this information, and he's there. All right, let me make something up.
Yeah, he did. Right. Like those are meant to be that. He was trying to go with Wolfram.
Right.
Stopping at 326.50. Advancing to 326.56. And starting back up at 326.57.
Stubbing some Shannon.
We put Woody to the side and Shannon back to the Woody spot.
So like Woody took Slug spot.
So Shannon and Yak told you, and he said that Nar was in the car also, and Nar was driving.
No.
Okay. All right. Anything else you remember what they told you?
That's it. That's it. You know what he told me.
And where did they tell you this at?
They told him. Well, Shannon told me they told him.
Shannon.
Nod told me they told him too. Well, they told him already gone.
Okay. His house was condo or?
Gwendolyn asks, do I think the Judge Whitaker will give a directed verdict after the state's case in chief is done? General, no. Directed verdicts are so incredibly rare. Incredibly rare. And I don't see this being a RICO case and the absolute horseshit statute it rests on. Anything anybody says can be construed as evidence against anybody. So no, I don't see a directed verdict after this.
Condo. Do you know what Shannon had on that night?
Nah, I don't know. So long time.
What boat she stayed? Where she stayed?
Where she stayed? I don't know where she stayed at. I didn't know her.
Well, just look familiar to you?
Yeah.
What that is?
At the condo.
I don't know. Who's that standing in the window?
That's Shannon.
Was that before or after the murder?
That was the day before.
Day before?
Yeah, Harley and some Harlem. So that was closed. So that was the day before.
Okay. All right. And what else you know? What else you know?
I told you everything.
That's all they told you?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened afterwards? I mean, when y'all went to Thug house and they told you, was Nard and Doo-Wop there?
No, what do I look?
Okay.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Or how did you link up with them after the murder?
Cause I told you, we called. Someone called me out. They say like somebody killed Nut. People were scared to meet with the Kevin house. I'm responsible. Who got shot at? We met him up there. And then Woody had pulled out. He pulled out a doctor. No doctor who he shot. So we go on. Me and Moulton. The Moulton followed me because they had no wife. So the Thug house.
So y'all all met up at the Gamma house and then drove to the Thug house.
Me and Moulton. And we met Woody had pulled out.
Who was with Woody? Was Lil D with him?
Nah, he was at Thug house.
But when you got to Thug house, Lil D was there.
Yeah, he was at Thug. He had been out the whole day.
Out of these four, who's you closest with? Shannon. Why is that?
Like, so he always, like, they treat him like little brother and stuff.
But you older than Shannon, ain't you? Y'all about the same age?
I'm 21, since I'm 22. But I didn't even want to go with Cold like that. Right. We just spoke up, keep the hang on. Like call my brother.
Stopping at 329.53. Advancing to 330.06. $330.09. 330.09. Your Honor, what we'll do is actually go to the next portion unless there is an objection, because it's just a 3-second. So we'll go to 331.36. Thorpe asking Quindarius Zachary about participants in the Dexter Montgomery shooting.
Yes.
And the picture or the photograph that Detective Thorpe is showing him now, is that Demise McMullen?
That Thorpe has?
Yes.
Yes.
Did Quindarius Zachary acknowledge that that was the nard that he was talking about?
Yes.
It's so easy for Gaither. She just gets a leading question and says yes, no.
Starting at 331.06. 331.36.
Oh yeah, that DK look like. Can't see him. This is him. Right here.
How often did Noah have Bentley Nitro?
Every day.
So he had access to it.
He asked me like, we come. No. You said in your opinion, this look like Nard? Yeah.
Still, how much percentage wise you think? 100%, 80%, 70%?
100%. That's what I know.
You sure?
Shit ain't got me. This, I don't know about DK. No, this is just to correct like that you said this looks like Nard. Like, we still working this case. DK don't know. I don't know what car. Sign with my name.
Name, date, and putting who you taking that picture of.
Is Nard skinny?
So they just got sticks on that. No. Where they get them from? Those got the check, so they're not. They'll put it there on 85.
I told Doug, stop messing around. Doug ain't never really like buying guns when I was crime. You didn't go.
Stopping at 333.12. And as we advance to the next slide, I'm going to show you what has been admitted as 503 Yankee. And ask you if 503 Yankee is what Quindarius Zachary was looking at in the clip of the video that we just saw, where he signed his name.
Yes.
And did you ever in any way attempt to suggest in any report or anything else that Quindarius Zachary knew something about this particular crime?
No.
All right. And is this the Nard that he said he had known since he was 12?
Yes.
Starting back up at 3:33:21.
I'm asking, I mean, I ain't checked back up on you. You ain't had anything pre-trial, ain't no violations, none of that. The pre-trial officer, you mad, I was getting locked up, officer, man. Yeah. I'm asking, I mean, I ain't checked back up on you. You ain't had anything pre-trial, ain't no violations, none of that. The pre-trial officer, you mad, I was
Casper, back or... Oh, there she is. That is the infamous picture that the judge exploded at the end of today with. And as it seems, it is on the prosecution who chose to not... I mean, if there is somebody on the stand that is not supposed to be filmed, why is a Zoom camera pointed? Why? Let's skip ahead again.
They did hang out Thug and a lot of girls. But you knew Thug before Woody and all this started hanging out with him. Like, Thug don't even be around him like that. I know Thug my whole life. Right, that's what I'm saying. He don't even be around him like that. I know what. That's just how it's going. That's what he messed with it. It's like, Thug cut you off. One day he didn't back rules and everything. So why people choose to come back around him? Like, he got money, he take something with him? He taking care of folks and stuff. When's the last time you seen him? I ain't seen him, man. I mean, like, you ain't hung out with him or been to the club and nothing with him? I ain't been no club, I ain't seen him, man. Like, when I came back out to, I went in hospital, I've been in hospital. I went in hospital, like, just saying. Right. What's something to think about all this? Shoot, she told me to come talk to y'all. She said, if it can help me get out of this situation with me, come talk to y'all. Absolutely. She don't care, she hates.
Pausing at 3:35:05 and starting at 3:35:11.
Y'all got no kids together?
You want to break or you want to keep going?
Keep going about it.
We still got the book. Let go.
Want to eat some chips or anything?
Yeah, I'm over here.
What kind of chips you want?
I don't know.
What can you eat? You said you're on a liquid diet.
Get that.
Look,
I don't want you to get sick now.
get sick on our watch.
I'll be alright. No. Maybe I don't want to eat a lot.
You use some crackers?
Oh, yeah, it's chill.
Okay, Doritos?
That's real.
Let's talk about the bus. Now,
Y'all chill, man.
bro, we can't make you no promises, but you're doing a great job. Like, you don't even know.
I can express to you. I'm saying, no, I don't want you to be seen in no jail.
You don't want to.
When I say I can't even express to you what you're doing right now and just the magnitude of it, and like I said, we don't vouch for too many people. We just don't. Because people say one thing and then they get out and they start doing some more fuck shit. I probably good. I ain't gonna. It's right here cost me so much. They find out. I ain't gonna be able to. I'm Cleveland now. I'm just. You don't want to hang on Cleveland. I don't want to hang on Cleveland now. Man, something to move. You don't want to be nowhere on Cleveland. If I had a plan for you to help you out the situation, man, some moving Clark County. I'm not going out.
What I say to you, bro, is these next couple of hours gonna determine the rest of your life, and that's just being real because.
Can y'all get my help out of the court in? I don't know if it's gonna work that fast. Like, can y'all tell the policeman how much or something?
All we can do is
what we're gonna do is, or what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna speak for myself. when we drop you back off the jail, I'm hopping on the phone with DA's office like ASAP. And you already know investigating.
I need an actual timestamp on the Fox 5 news, because skipping back and forth.
If 503 Yankee is
Ah, there she is. There she is. Yeah.
He was on the phone for a few weeks. Like, he was FaceTiming at the gas station.
So basically, everybody got high, and then it was turned, like, let's go get it.
Hey, high all day. You smoke, you drink? No, no.
What's up with Duke?
pausing at 3:50:02 and advancing to 3:50:42. And that's number. Picking back up at 3:50:42.
Nah, he did something with those.
Because he ran out the
Yeah.
You ain't never heard of that plan people up with you?
I don't know how he started hanging with Thug. I told Thug, he hang with people who know home him when he broke.
That what?
That never went home him when he was broke. He hang with
Somebody else did. Bring it, man. New friends bring the house down, though. But he got that check, so everybody want a piece of it.
Stopping at 3:51:17. Advancing to 3:52:08.
What Dolly West say?
I don't know, he ain't been out. So who else stayed with Thug upstairs, right? I don't know, he ain't never been in the house here. You ain't never been in the house?
Why you ain't never been?
How house is it?
And Your Honor, by our records, that should, I'm going to continue until the end of this particular.
Yeah, nothing of interest happened, so let's move on to after the next break. Let's hear what happened.
But you start, no, you start like, no. Because you ain't been in a lot of shit before. I think.
Right here. Excuse me.
Did I skip an argument? Oh.
Man, like, kind of like a Flavor Flav. Yeah. So he gonna do basically whatever Thug say as far as, you know, I need you to.
I heard an approach. Or. Yep. And. Sidebar counter 283. Ma, 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 ma. Skipping ahead.
Continuing. Continuing.
Okay.
This end your portion of the interview with Quindarius Zachary.
Yes.
Do you continue at any point, or do you go back and watch this where he's talking to the federal agents? Or
No, I had no reason.
okay. I'm going to show you what has been already admitted as State's Exhibit 510 Yankee and ask you, take a look at it.
All right.
Have you seen 510 Yankee before that photograph?
Yes.
Was that the photograph? Was Quindarius Zachary ever asked about this particular photograph during the interview that we just saw?
Yes, this is the picture that investigator showed him. And asked him when did it occur.
And asked him when it occurred?
When was the photo taken?
All right. Could we display 510 Yankee? Oh, I need a section.
Every month I get 10 memberships to gift. Although it's still the October 1st in the USA, it is October 2nd now, 1:30 a.m. So I gifted 5 in the morning session, and now it's the afternoon session recap. I can gift 5 more. And it went to Gapit, Lauren Freitag, Jane, Jano, and Annie Long. Congratulations, you now have access to all my members only content and your members only emojis. And I need to get that link up, my Discord. And that brings us for the grand total of day 139, 28 new members. 28 new members. And if you want to become a member yourself, it's $3 a month to be a member of the Viking crew. Right. Let's continue.
When you spoke with Quindarius Zachary about where he was the night of Donovan Thomas's murder, is what I'm holding in 510 Yankee the place that he described as the condo, Thug's condo?
Yes.
Do you know the name of this apartment complex or condominium complex?
Sky House.
And who is displayed to your knowledge in 510 Yankee?
Shannon Jackson.
And is that the photo?
Haven't they already shown this with the detective? No, with the DA Sprinkle. What can she add to this picture?
Photo that he said, or Mr. Zachary said he took either in December or January of 2015?
Yes.
I'm now showing you what has already been admitted as State's Exhibit 477 Yankee. Do you recognize the people who's shown in 477 Yankee?
Yes.
Could you please display 477 Yankee on the screen?
Before she does that, hi and welcome to my channel. I do not have midstream ads. That's my gift to you. In return, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. That is all I ask for. Thank you.
Do you see Mr. Zachary in that photograph?
Yes.
All right. Is he the person with the red hat on?
Yes.
Who else is he in the photograph with, to your knowledge?
With the black hoodie, Mr. Sledge, Muntunk, and Mr. Williams with the gray hoodie.
All right. And showing you State's 482 Yankee? Do you recognize the persons shown in 482 Yankee?
Yes.
Who do you see in 482 Yankee?
Mr. Zachary up front with the gray hoodie. Shannon Jackson with the black hoodie with white words. And Mr. Kendricks with the long black jacket with a white t-shirt underneath.
Thank you.
So what does there are literally hundreds of pictures of different constellation of people who grew up in the same area. Literally hundreds already in evidence. What makes these so special?
For y'all to stick around. Don't let them leave.
Yeah, that don't let them leave might be the judge finding out that there's a picture of this witness sitting in court. And she now know, as at this point in the trial, she thinks media has leaked it. It isn't. It's the prosecution who fucked up, forked YouTube, forked, nothing else. It's the accent. Makes my words sound different than what they are.
I'm now going to show you what we have marked, and Your Honor, we shared, and I'm not going to display, but I'm going to show Sergeant Gaither pages 204, 195, 181, 175, 170, 153, 152, 143, 142, 131, 129, 128, 127, 126, 122, 119, 117, 81, 79, and 12 of State's 526 Yankee, which has not been admitted.
Okay.
But I'm showing Sergeant Gaither these exhibits, and I've labeled them as 526 Yankee Alpha through 526 Yankee. Showing you 526 Yankee Alpha. Do you recognize the people shown in 526 Yankee Alpha?
Yes, a few of them.
All right. Is Quindarius Zachary in that photograph?
Yes.
Did you ever get the opportunity to review Quindarius Zachary's IG, Twitter, social media, or anything like that?
His Instagram page I have.
Okay, his Instagram page. All right. And I'm going to show you, because this is a little bit bigger, State's Exhibit 526 Yankee Beta, and ask you if you recognize the people shown in 526 Yankee Beta.
Yes.
And do you recognize the location shown in 526 Yankee Beta?
Yes.
Is that an accurate reflection of the persons, images of the people shown in 526 Yankee Beta and the location shown in 526 Yankee Beta.
Yes.
Your Honor, the state tenders 526 Yankee Beta as evidence.
Objection. All right, it's admitted.
Right. Showing you 526 Yankee Charlie. Do you recognize the persons shown in?
I'm sorry, Judge, I objected to the
Oh, I'm
last
sorry. I thought you
exhibit.
said no objection. Gotta use your mic. Not admitted.
Okay.
We'll have to take that up. And yeah, I know we haven't gone over any of this yet, so it may be.
That's correct.
It may be that we need.
They haven't gone over these yet. Judge, you have the authority to stop things if you know that things are being presented that has not been litigated. Jesus Christ. Oh.
Need to break and deal with.
I don't have to tender it now. No, so that we
Okay.
cannot.
All right, then just don't tender him yet.
Okay. Without publishing and without admitting, is the court allowed, I mean,
you can show her whatever you want. And
Okay.
if you need, if you're just saying what are you asking her? What are you planning to ask?
the next question will be who's depicted in this and the
Oh.
location.
We probably don't need to get into the substance of what's shown before we know whether they're going to be admissible.
Okay. Then the next question will be, were the people and the location in 526 Yankee Beta discussed in the interview with Quindarius Zachary?
Okay, that's fine.
Were the people and the location in 526 Yankee Beta discussed during your interview with Mr. Zachary?
Objection for the same reason.
All right, let's just deal with it. Outside the presence of the jury. So why don't we break for the day? Y'all gonna go home a few minutes early. Remind y'all, don't talk about the case. Don't let anybody talk about the case with you. Don't look at any kind of accounts, no matter where they might show up about this trial or anybody involved in it. And we'll see you at 9 in the morning. Thank you.
Okay, so 9 in the morning. Now there are more coming. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. So tomorrow 9 a.m. I assume they're going to continue with Miss Gaither with showing more pictures that are completely useless because they want to waste time. But let's see what's going on. Here.
That they and shown a picture that is.
Oh, here comes the. Yeah. But first, Iron Rabbit gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Gifted to Mama Girl, Izzy Dilijeff, Auditing Surrey, Sean, and Ariel were gifted memberships. Congratulations. You now also have access to all my members only content. You have access to your own emojis here on YouTube, and you have access to my Discord. Link should be in. I will post the link to Discord, a new link. I think the old one has expired, but those are for members only. Thank you so much, Iron Rabbit. And that brings us to grand total for day 139. 33 new members. Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now they are going to have, the judge is going to fly through the roof about the picture. That was by the prosecution's mistake, but she doesn't know this yet.
Whose? Doesn't matter. Fine, that's fine. Okay. We have a problem, and I don't know if it was any of you, but we need to get to the bottom of it, or I'm going to have to excuse everybody from utilizing cameras anymore, because there is an instruction that this witness not be in any way filmed or documented, no visual images of this witness. And some person who I have no idea who is from Adam has just emailed that they and shown a picture that is now documented all over the internet of this witness today, clearly sitting in the witness box, being examined by Miss Love, and it is a full-on image.
Now, I won't show that picture again, but it is clearly a bird's eye picture, Your Honor. And if you're looking at it, you see it from a bird's eye vision. Nobody is at the roof or the ceiling in the courtroom. You should have spotted this yourself, Your Honor. But you didn't.
Of the witness. And so we need to get to the bottom of who took it and sent it to somebody else. And it was posted
It's
by
your
somebody
own
named
court
Empress Fox,
Zoom.
Protect the Flag America, I guess, 2028. With the disclaimer, this was sent to me. I didn't take the photo or own it. So one by one. I can't, you know what? Everybody come up individually to a microphone somewhere so that I can hear you, identify yourself, and say what you need to say. Does that micro?
You miss I
Good
don't.
afternoon.
I don't miss
So I just,
one bit.
I'm not the leader. I just wanted to be the first one to say that I'm not allowed cell phones or cameras. It's on an order. I definitely did not take the picture. The picture did come to my attention. I got here a little bit late today, but there was a camera and device. Someone was definitely taking pictures today. And I know one of the people who was taking pictures was Miss LJ Hall, PhD. Not for sure if she took the picture, but she definitely had a camera.
Okay. All right. And remind me your name. I'm sorry.
Yes, my name is Nicole Borden.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Miss Sylvia.
Yeah, you gave her permission to do still photos, but not on these. You weren't supposed to do that.
Hey, hi, I was live streaming. That's it. I didn't take any pictures.
Ma'am.
I live stream. I didn't take any pictures.
Okay. I mean, you've got a couple, 2 or 3 different devices going over there at once at some points in time. And it looks like sometimes you do take photos. Are you taking photos?
Yeah, I only take photos of the defendant. That's
All
it.
right.
Or you.
You are
Oh, I take pictures of you.
representing to the court that you did not take
No.
any pictures, any images of this witness. All
No.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know anything at all about anyone who did and or how this got out there?
I only know one person that was taking pictures, the same person that she said.
It's signed in right here.
All right. And ma'am, I don't even know who you are back there, but
No, she's not even allowed to have phone.
okay. No. All right. Sorry to have, okay. All right. Thank you. I will do a show cause order to Ms. Hall and we'll find out from her. Okay. That's it for this part of the proceedings. All right. So if Ms. Love, you're going to want to deal with the rest of, hang on. If you are going to want to introduce all of those exhibits, we're going to have to hash out the admissibility of them. So I had thought you were going to introduce them with Mr. Sprinkle, but
I was, and I took out ones that specifically were pertinent to the interview that Sergeant Gaither had, because there's.
Oh, I see in the chat. Yeah, apparently Cat Not Williams lost power. So that is why she disappeared suddenly from her own stream. But she did come back. And she posted on Twitter that this was the reason. She had a power out for a few minutes.
She had knowledge and could testify about people that were pertinent to what she and Mr. Zachary discussed in the interview. In other words, for instance, during the interview, you hear them talking about the dugout.
And I don't know why all of a sudden because I have the closed captions on. I don't know why it suddenly doesn't work.
Are pictures in the exhibits that I showed her of Mr. Zachary and Quentin Porter at the dugout. You hear Mr. Zachary talking about a person named Gucci Red. there, 526 Yankee Charlie. It's a
Mhm.
picture of Mr. Zachary and Gucci Red.
Okay.
You hear,
So I guess what I need to know is, do you want/need to have these admitted with this witness?
yes,
And-
the ones that I selected, not the whole 526
Okay,
Yankee.
so I guess that means we're going to need to sort out the admissibility of them now, which is what we're going to have to do. So can you tell me in number, not reverse number order, what they are?
Yes,
Or just hand them to me and I'll write them down?
yes,
That might
either
be
way.
faster.
Sure. And we can also email the PowerPoint to the court.
Oh, I think y'all already, I didn't PowerPoint, just the exhibit list. Yeah, you already did. I just need to know which ones we need to litigate right now. So where are the page numbers? Miss Love, where are the page numbers?
Your Honor, I have the page numbers and I can show the courts the actual images. Let me just.
You know what, let's just start in numerical order and not reverse numerical order, just because it'll make my brain less crazed. And go see if there's objection to them. So if everybody wants to pull up their,
Kat does not need to apologize. The judge needs to apologize to the
document that was
members
submitted
of
the other day,
media she
so
accused,
we can all be looking at them.
when it actually was the court itself that screwed up.
All right.
It's possible.
Okay.
And we're sending to the court the way it's going to be displayed in electronic form so that the court can look at it and it's not terribly confusing.
Okay, so it is going to be displayed differently than what it is on the scan that you sent yesterday?
Yes,
Okay.
because, yes,
Well, can you just send it to everybody?
yes, everyone else has it. The court. it
Oh,
doesn't.
only the court doesn't have it. Okay. All right, send it on. So this is different than what you sent Ms. Persifield yesterday?
It's select ones from what I sent Ms. Percival yesterday.
Okay, but do they look the same as what you sent? Because I don't mind just looking on there. I think
Okay,
it just
so it's a
arrived, so that's
portion.
cool. I am opening it up now. Okay, got it.
Okay. So
And if A is whatever the last one is, so the first one, that's fine. As long as we're all looking at the same thing. All right. So is everybody on the 526Y, A through whatever it's going to be? All right. Any objection to A? All right, then what is it?
I don't believe it was tendered yet, but
Well,
the witness.
I don't know if it has been or not, but
I
the
don't-
assumption is all of these are going to get tendered with Detective Gaither, so.
Detective Gaither stated, I recognize some of the individuals depicted. So I'm objecting to the entire photograph going in.
we have no problem with not tendering that one through
All right.
Sergeant Gaither.
Okay. B.
I just don't know the purpose of,
Well, that's not a good objection. I mean,
Well,
it might ultimately
relevance,
be
I
a
don't-
relevance objection. Okay.
relevance and its admission against Mr. Nichols. It's not an inconsistent statement in any way. It doesn't involve Mr. Nichols in any way. It's not a co-conspirator statement. Why is it coming in?
So relevance objection.
Your Honor, the photograph, so backing up, one of the, I believe the defense is going to make every effort to, one, discredit what was said during the interview of Mr. Zachary.
Okay.
What these photographs show are, and the jury has already heard, we did not get them admitted, but I think it was admitted that 526 Yankee was, it's the Twitter record pulled by DDA Sprinkle.
Right.
That belonged to Quindaria Zachary.
Yes.
So as much as that is before the jury, and these photographs that Sergeant Gaither recognizes as depicting pertinent portions of her conversation with Mr. Zachary, pertinent portions of Mr. Zachary's interactions with defendants in this case, I would ask that, or I submit that the relevance threshold has been greatly exceeded. For instance, Mr. Zachary is talking about at some point during the interview how Rock Crew started, why he has an association with someone from MDC. He's from Capitol Homes, me and Moot from Capitol Homes. He knows Big Boo. 526 Yankee Alpha is Big Boo. It is not only Big Boo, it is Big Boo and Mr. Zachary in the dugout.
Okay, all right, overruled.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that the entire group was admitted yesterday. I
Oh,
thought,
it wasn't. None of it was. It was just with Mr. Sprinkle, he identified the whole group
Yes,
as
that's right.
he had the
That's
Twitter
correct.
feed. None of it has been admitted, and we said, we'll have to take this up. So now some of it she wants admitted, specifically these things that are in this exhibit, composite exhibit. So we're litigating their admissibility.
right, but maybe I missed it. I still don't see how this comes in against Mr. Nichols.
Judge,
Well, it's a RICO case and it may or may not have anything to, I mean, I doubt if, I mean, I don't know how the jury is going to
It's neither,
interpret this.
it's neither a prior consistent or a prior inconsistent
It's
statement.
just
It
evidence.
is nothing. It's nothing. That's what
It's
I
a
mean.
picture showing that the two of these people were related and they are at least at some point in their lives at the, what is it called?
dugout.
Dugout.
Oh, all right,
So-
I'm going to have the same objection to every single one of these photographs insofar as it is being admitted against Mr. Nichols. It is not anything that's relevant to a prior inconsistent statement or a prior consistent statement. It may be admitted insofar as it's admitted against the witness, but not against Mr. Nichols. You can't just keep saying, oh, this is a RICO case, so everything comes in. So I'm objecting. Thank you for a continuing objection. I'll not whine with regard to each photograph. How's that?
Okay, that's fine. I mean, not every bit of evidence in a trial is a prior consistent or inconsistent statement. There's, and relevance is a very low threshold. Okay.
Your Honor, could I whine just briefly?
Sure.
Yes. So this photo, and I think it's going to be for a lot of these, I could see if Mr. Zachary said, oh, I don't know who Big Boo is. I've never met a Big Boo. He's testified to all.
Okay, I mean, I understand.
Yeah. Well, the mistake the judge does here is treating Gaither as she is a new witness. No, she is a rebuttal witness for exclusively to rebut Mr. Zachary's testimony. That's what she's there for. So yes, in this case, when they are trying to admit evidence through her, it has to be inconsistent statements or consistent statements or not offered for the truth of the matter. Detective Gaither here is specifically there to get the video in. How I don't understand why either. Let's ask Mr. Harvey. How are these pictures all of a sudden? Because Mr. Sprinkle, that was a new witness. Ms. Gaither is there to combat the inconsistent statements, in my opinion.
But it's, it's got some probative value and it has little to no prejudicial impact. So it's in.
Your Honor,
Yes,
just for the record, I believe that it was referred to by the prosecutor as 526YA, but YA is not, it's withdrawn, and this is
Yeah.
YB.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to C.
Well, Your Honor,
And
allow
you
me
can
to keep my
just,
seat.
Mr. Harvey, have a continuing objection to all of these, and my ruling will probably be the same. Uh,
May I say
I
seated? while-
suppose.
I'll
I don't care.
Okay.
It's fine. I can probably hear you better if you're seated anyway. All right,
So
C, hang
526
on. Any objection to C other than the general relevance one that we already discussed?
I don't know if a foundation can be laid, so I don't want to waive that, Your Honor.
So what I asked the witness is whether she recognizes the persons in the photograph that Mr. Zachary posted on October 20th, 2014 on his Twitter feed. She will be able to say, yes, she's seen them. the person, the female in the picture is the person Mr. Zachary refers to as Gucci Red, and Mr. Zachary is in the photograph. This witness knows who Gucci Red is. The jury has now heard Mr. Zachary's comments about a Gucci Red. So I believe, given that the jury knows that this came from Mr. Zachary's Twitter account, that this witness can identify the people in it, that a foundation can be laid or has been laid.
Okay, and your purpose for showing this would just be to show that the two of them do in fact know each other and hang out, I guess,
not
or
hang out,
whatever. I don't know what.
Not hang out. Well, okay. I mean that they
Associate with one
yes,
another?
Yes.
Okay. And foundationally speaking, do you have a further objection or?
I'll object to where it's written at the very top, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
Gucci Red begging. I don't really understand why that's coming in.
Okay.
This
Can you?
So it was. Mr. Zachary's posts, given that he is an unindicted co-conspirator in this case, his posts and the words he makes, unless there are other people, generally when we have social media pictures being admitted, we take out other people's comments that are not either a witness or a defendant, but the comments, the captions of the persons that are co-conspirators in this case, they are left. This is one where he says, this is Gucci Red begging. So I don't think she's begging. I don't know what she's doing. All I know is that he posted a photo of himself and the person he calls Gucci Red, who he has a protracted conversation with detectives Gaither and Dennis about during this interview. So I would ask that the words, the photograph, and the date, and the social media handle, and the picture of the person who is the owner of the account all be shown to the jury.
Didn't we have this discussion earlier about hearsay in pictures?
The rule is that it has to further the conspiracy or further the interests of the gang. And I don't see any purpose. And to say that it's an admission by a unindicted co-conspirator, I don't know what that's admitting. An admission means it's admitting some sort of guilt. That's the definition of it. Your Honor, I cite to Alexander, Alexander versus State, 371 Georgia Appeal, 532. It's in Division 2, 2024 case. And it just gives, it's a gang case, Your Honor.
Mhm.
And all they say, it's well written actually, but what the Court of Appeal says is that you need to show, not you, the state needs to show, it's not just evidence of a gang member.
Mhm.
You have to show that somehow it furthered some interest.
Right.
So I just don't understand. I'm objecting. You're going to ask me what's a prejudice. So I'm going to tell you, I don't know if there is prejudice.
We'll take it out,
So-
Your Honor, the words.
They'll take it out. Okay, any objection to D?
The printout, I'm looking at the printout, so if I'm wrong, it's not intentional, because it's kind of small. I don't see people that I recognize in this photo, so I don't know what the relevance would be.
Ms. Love?
Gwendolyn, these pictures are being submitted to show that these guys know each other. As if there aren't hundreds of pictures already in evidence. But the judge rules.
Is in this photograph, Mr. Stevens is in this photograph, and Sergeant Gaither can tell the rest of the people who are in this photograph if, I believe that this is the.
So two people who aren't defendants but has taken either plea deals, immunity, whatever's, and the rest are unknown of sorts, unless Miss Gaither can be coached to telling who they are.
Inside of the dugout, and the caption, "Ball up them slimes." They going 7:30, and this is taken or posted rather October 25th, 2014.
Okay, well, I assume that the what was written is coming out.
No, no, that one.
Well, okay, I'm going to argue to the court that this does not fall under 801 D2E. So the words would be redacted. So not statements by a co-conspirator that are furthering anything. And quite frankly, I don't know what the relevance of a picture of, I don't know, a dozen young men. One of them, I'm being told, is Trontavious Stevens, and one being Quindarius Zachary. I don't know what the relevance really is, but
The relevance, Your Honor, is ball up them slimes. I think later on at other points in other portions of this, these photographs, we'll see other instances where Mr. Zachary replaces C's with B's. It shows his association with another YSL member. It shows and proves there is an us, there is an enterprise, there is the existence of the enterprise, which is an element of count one. And it goes, this is a post made October 25th, 2014. So I believe that the relevance threshold has been met, and the assertion, the caption to the photo is Mr. Zachary promoting the enterprise through his words.
All right, I'm going to overrule the objection. E? Any objection? Any evidentiary objection beyond just, we'd rather not have this in?
because, Your Honor, we previously litigated another group of social media posts that involved, my recollection, Quindarius Zachary.
Right.
And if you recall, we were arguing, okay, well, one photo is enough to show
Right.
an association between someone and someone else,
Right.
and the rest were cumulative.
Right.
And I just don't have in front of me right now those other ones. So to
Right.
the extent that this is cumulative of showing Mr. Zachary and Mr. Garlington shooting the bird, then I would object that it's cumulative.
All right. Any response?
Yes, this is not 12 photos shown on the same day. This is another instance of Mr. Zachary on this particular date in this photograph with Demekion Garlington using B's instead of C's,
Mhm.
calling Mr. Garlington his slime at 30D. We can,
Do we already have something similar, a photograph of the two of them together using any kind of alleged gang language? I feel like we do.
and Your Honor, so in as much as with this particular one,
Mhm.
I can withdraw
Okay.
this particular one, but there is a different one, 526 Yankee. I don't know what G is, but G.
Okay. G,
That-
I don't know what G is
Golf,
either.
golf. That's what they
Golf,
tell me.
yes.
Um,
Okay, anyway, let's move on to F.
Okay.
So that's withdrawn,
Actually, and I'm withdrawing F as well.
withdrawn, okay. So on to golf.
Now, golf has Mr. Zachary posting the three snakes, a heart, YSL, 30 deep.
All right, I don't think we have that yet. Any objection beyond relevance or cumulative? Well, nobody voiced any objections, but I assume that's what they would be.
Cumulative, and I don't recall if the other group of photos involving Mr. Zachary have been admitted at this point. I would just ask that if they haven't been admitted, the state just needs to pick which ones they really think are important and not just have a bunch of pictures of Mr. Zachary and Mr. Garlington. So if they haven't been admitted and this is the one they want, then it wouldn't be cumulative, but another one that they said they wanted last time we did this would be cumulative.
I believe that the proper evaluation of whether any evidence should be excluded based on a cumulative argument is whether it is so cumulative as to amount to a waste of time and or undue prejudice against the defendant. And I don't believe that this falls anywhere near
Actually,
that.
those are all different things. Those are all different reasons. Things could be kept out under 403, but I don't find this so cumulative that I'm going to keep it out. So that one is in. H. Yes, yes. Any objection to H?
What is the what is the I have a relevance objection, Your Honor,
Okay,
and happy birthday, Diamante.
relevance.
It shows his association with a person that he told police killed Donovan Thomas. It shows his association with a person who is on trial. It shows him,
Let me know who that is.
Diamante Kendrick, my apologies.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That appears to be Mr. Kendrick, Your Honor.
Monty, yes. It is bullying with my N on his B-Day at Monty Rebel 100. And then there's a green snake emoji. And this was posted November 20th, 2014.
Okay, and do we have other photos of Mr. Zachary and Mr. Kendrick together with just the two of them?
Not that I can think of.
I can't think of any either.
I don't
Do you
recall
know?
seeing one. If any others come in the future, we'll obviously object at that point.
All right.
I don't think we have any others.
Okay,
especially on
so
November
this
20th.
is
They clearly don't hang out much together.
overruled. I. Any objection to I?
Your Honor, I think we're going to withdraw I.
Okay.
Okay.
J? Objection to J.
And just for the record, this is,
Okay, so no objection from anybody to J. All right. I can't hear you.
Objection to J on behalf of Mr.
Okay,
Stillwell, but
all
I
right.
don't speak for
Doesn't
everyone
sound
else.
like there's one from anybody else, so that would, we'll move on to K.
I'll object to K, Your Honor.
All right,
I don't-
basis.
I don't know the reason that it coming in, it would be a gentleman named Fat and Mr. Zachary.
So relevance.
this is a person that Mr. Murphy told police was a participant in the Dexter Montgomery incident. This is Mr. Kuykendall. And what we see is Mr. Zachary posting himself with and tagging this person at Young Fat 4 with a green snake emoji, a red heart, a red square with a white B and a 100 on December 1st, 2014. So it's associations with yet another.
Yeah, so if you, when you were a teenager or early 20s, you took pictures with people who you later found out were doing, may or may not be doing a crime, you might be a co-conspirator. Now, I see in the chat here you're talking about the thing on Lawyer You Know show, and I have it tuned up here.
A complete list of witnesses with the exhibits that those witnesses are going to be shown when they testify. That was weeks ago, and it still hasn't happened. She does emails on Sunday night disclosing things to lawyers for things that are going to happen.
Well, I mean,
on Monday.
the disclosure on Sunday night, it's like if you're working it forever and you're continuing to try to stay ahead of the game and you're disclosing the list of witnesses and you're disclosing stuff that, you know, is going to come up in a month from now or whatever. The Sunday night emails suck and it sucks for everybody, but it's like everybody's still working on the case. Sunday night emails have to happen. It's just, if that was the only thing, then okay. But it is one of 1,000 things they're doing wrong and not following the rules and not giving proper notice and just screwing these criminal defendants.
I like supporting other content creators. I just do.
That's the problem. It's one of 100 things.
But I think the one you're talking about is a little bit later. Here it is.
Nick said, when I started covering this case in May of last year, I wore shirts and sport coats and had a well-trimmed beard. Now I'm streaming like a caveman in a Buc-ee's onesie, shouting at the screen. And to think you're not even sitting in there in court every day with these lawyers having to sit there and just listen to everybody drone on. I mean, you can get up and go do whatever you want. You can watch a TV show at the same time if you want to. That's brutal. That's brutal. Nita said that.
Yeah, and here I am. I actually, you see, well, you see this, yeah, but I actually have, I'm sitting in my Buc-ee's onesie because it's really, really comfortable. So yes, I'm sitting here like a mad caveman in a Buc-ee's onesie, shouting at the screen. Let's get back to trial.
Person we believe is associated with the group.
My memory is that none of the people on trial confronted Mr. Murphy about Fat, and I believe the state's witness said that they did not believe that Fat was involved. And even if some of that's wrong, which I'm not saying any of it's wrong, I don't know what this picture does. So I'm objecting to we have a tremendous record. I mean, I don't know how many photographs, but this has to be 1,000 plus.
Okay.
So I'm objecting.
All right. I don't think that there's a photo of these two people together, and it would be probative of his ability to know what it is he at least said in the interview, considering they associate. So I'm going to admit that over objection.
Your Honor, the next
You
one is a
say
duplicate.
that they speak about in the interview, it's two different people. The interview was Mr. Walter Murphy, you didn't see. This is Mr. Zachary, who we just testified last week. So it's not the same people associated.
Who is the other person in this picture besides Mr. Zachary?
Mr. Kuykendall.
And you're saying what about him?
That I believe he's another associate. This is the person that Mr. Murphy, Mr. Steele is correct. It was during our presentation of the evidence of the Dexter Montgomery shooting, told police that Mr. Kuykendall was a part of the shooting itself. I don't.
So somebody told somebody that this guy, Jesus Christ, this is so bad.
He was never charged. He is just an associate. It shows his association with yet another associate of YSL. It just shows more of the association of persons within the enterprise. And I won't fight hard over it. I can not have that
I
one.
did
in.
misunderstand that one.
think that's-
So yeah, well,
Yeah.
you can either withdraw that or I'll.
Yes, we'll withdraw it.
Okay.
And the next one is the same as 526 Yankee.
Oh,
Actually, so
so that's a duplicate.
it's
So
a
you'll-
different date, but it's a duplicate photo. So we'll,
Okay, withdraw.
yes.
How does a duplicate has a different date? Your Honor, if the photos are a duplicate, why do they have different dates? Let's listen to that again.
So that's a duplicate.
It's
So
a
you'll-
different date, but it's a duplicate photo. So we'll,
Okay.
It's a different date, but it's a duplicate photo. How? Yeah, they're posting them at different times, which goes to, yeah, thank you, Mama Girl, because someone is posting them at different times. Yeah. Which goes to authentication of those photos. When was it taken? Where was it taken? And who originally posted it? It goes to authentication and everything.
Withdraw.
yes.
M as in Mike. Isn't that the same thing we saw before, just with a different?
Person. Yeah. We can take this
Withdrawn.
one out. Yes.
Okay. N Bless you. Any objection to N?
What is a Bucky's onesie? Hold on. What is a Bucky's onesie? Hold on. This is a Bucky's onesie. Da, da, da. And thank you, Jersey Jen, for gifting a membership. That brings us to 34 new members on day 139. Yeah, so let's finish off this day 139 properly in a Bucky's onesie.
November. Okay.
Your Honor, that's Mr. Copeland, if you remember, in the hat. That's Mr. Williams, I recognize. And we have a series, I don't know how many, but a series of the same photos of Mr. Copeland and Mr. Williams that you permitted into evidence. So I'll object.
And Your Honor, this is not to show that Mr. Copeland associates with Mr. Williams. This is Mr. Zachary, also an associate, but an unindicted co-conspirator, posting 9 days before one of the acts and counts in this indictment, a picture of 2 YSL associates, as the state alleges, and the caption "ain't going back and forth" with Mr. Copeland and Mr. Williams. So we believe that his posting of the photograph on his Twitter page and the arguments I'm certain that will be made regarding Mr. Zachary's affiliation or affinity towards certain people, I believe that it's very relevant. So it passes that threshold, and there's nothing, we don't believe it's cumulative.
All right. Overruled.
Can I just make a statement for the record?
Sure.
I believe that this should have been put upon Mr. Zachary then. It's his out-of-court statement. I have no idea why this is some sort of 9 days before, like there was a plan of killing, that there's no evidence that this was a planned killing that we've heard yet. And there's other exhibits that have been admitted over objection from Mr. Garlington's, who's not a witness, his social media post saying we ain't going back and forth on a table with Mr. Williams and Mr. Garlington, and there's money on the table. So that's my objection. I understand your ruling. That's my objection.
Okay. All right. And
All right, and I'm posting a link in the chat because that link goes to this one. In my merch store, not an unindicted co-conspirator. So if you are in the Atlanta area, you might need one of these, because at any point in time, you can be dragged into court and forced to testify, even if you have nothing to do with Young Thug, YSL, or anything. Because according to the prosecution, almost everybody in Atlanta are unindicted co-conspirators. And on the back, it says, "Free Thug." Let's get back to the trial.
I actually don't understand the state's position to be that it was a planned killing. I think this is, as I understood her to be
Correct.
saying, just very close in time. They are associated closely enough that he's able to have this picture and post it. Okay. Oh, Oscar.
This,
Is there any objection?
This has been litigated before in a different group of photos, so I believe it's in evidence.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's correct. This picture is in evidence. The January 2nd and posting by Quindarius Zachary is not. And I don't think that the date is in. It might be, but the posting by Mr. Zachary is not. And if I'm wrong, I withdraw it. I don't believe that this is in. I will check.
You mean the date?
Yes, yes. We'll withdraw it because it's the date. Wait, let's see. 480 Yankee is in.
And is there a date on it?
My apologies. We are confirming that it's in.
How do you not know this already? It's your damn evidence.
Is the, oh, I'm sorry.
And they cut the sound.
Wasn't it? So it wasn't admitted. So what about 480 Yankee was not admitted. So this is not.
All right, so it's not cumulative. So apparently that whatever other one was not admitted. So I'll admit this one over a cumulative objection.
And Your Honor, given what 480 Yankee is, since they are the same, we would ask to introduce 480 Yankee instead of 524 Yankee Oscar. 526 Yankee Oscar.
And what's the difference between the two?
The 480 Yankee is posted on Mr. Zachary's Instagram page, and it's the same date, but he tags the people who are in the photo.
Sure. Can y'all?
Definitely. We're sharing now on the screen. Here it is on the screen in front of me.
What do you think, my brother? They wanted it because it's.
Oh, look at that. Jersey Jen gifted a membership to Sapphire Ridge News. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your support of this channel.
Okay,
That brings us to
it's up to y'all which one y'all wanna
35
use.
new members
480
today.
Yankee.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, we are now at 526 YP
Papa.
as in Papa. Any objection? Nope.
Yeah, I just posted a
We have a
new
picture
Discord link
of
that should
these
work.
4 gentlemen in elevator, it appears, or some sort of structure in 526 Yankee. Oh, whatever O is.
Yeah.
And then we got in the same elevator, Shannon eating potato chips next to Mr. Zachary. I just don't see what we're doing.
On a different
Relevant.
On a different day, Mr. Zachary is posting another photo of him alongside the defendant. He tells the police killed Donovan Thomas Jr. and was at the Little Wayne bus shooting and had guns. And he is posting a picture of him, not in a threatening way, not saying I hate him or I'm trying to get him in trouble, but he is posting a picture of him to show we perceive it as his affinity towards him. They are friends, they are associates, they are close, and it is relevant, we believe, for the jury to be able to infer their relationship.
All right, I'll admit it.
Well, I'll point out that one is January 2nd, one's January 3rd. They're wearing the same clothes. It's probably something that was taken just before midnight and then just after midnight. So I don't really see, but I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't be posting multiple pictures of somebody that I
All
hate.
right, I've made my ruling. Q, Quebec.
Thank you again, Jersey Jen,
It's in.
who gifted another
Our
membership.
objection is
Thank you.
overruled.
That brings us
Objection to
to
Q.
36 new members today. While the judge is admitting useless pictures as evidence. Thank you so much, Jersey Jen, for your support of this channel. Thank you.
Judge, this one
Hang on, can I interrupt for a minute? And so I'm getting a question from a judge in another court about our need for Special Agent Bernie tomorrow because that person's supposed to be testifying in a case that they have ongoing right now. Can you take Bernie sometime other than, were you planning to take Bernie
Yes.
tomorrow?
Yes, we were planning to take him today if we got through Sergeant Gaither today, or yesterday if we got through.
Okay, do
Sergeant
you know what time? Like, we still have to get through Detective Gaither. How much longer do we have with Detective Gaither?
I just probably have another hour maybe.
Okay, all right.
Another hour in.
Okay, then they
Another hour for Miss Love is a day, maybe 2.
plan to, it would work then for them to take Bernie in Cobb County at 9. They think he should be out of there by 10, which would put him here at 10:30.
Under great circumstances. If I just.
No, not. Yeah, I mean, I would think
Yeah,
that'll be on me if
yeah, that's an hour without cross-examination, Your Honor.
we don't have, if we have to waste some time, okay? All right. Thank you, all right. Okay, back to Q. Is there objection to
Thank
Q?
you.
I think we're withdrawing Q.
Oh, okay. R, are we going to Y or YY? Okay, good. Then we're almost done. Any objection to R?
Your Honor, there's already a picture of that gentleman that was just put in by Detective Gaither.
Okay. And what's the response on the
That-
relevance?
That is twofold. One, the picture put in of Demise McMullen by Detective Gaither is surveillance footage that doesn't show his face. This is Demise McMullen in a photograph posted
Then how did she recognize him?
on Mr. Zachary's Twitter page 2 days after the murder of Donovan Thomas. During the time that Mr. Zachary said they all went down to Miami, it appears Mr. McMullen is on a bus of some sort, probably.
Mr. Zachary did not testify that all went to Miami. No, 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 you're lying to the court again.
A Sprinter bus, and he has tagged or labeled it hard nard.
All right,
Mr.
I'm gonna permit that one over objection. Give me just a second. We're gonna pause from our evidentiary issues for a minute. Thank you for coming in, and I had a question for you. That is, and you may already know what the topic is. And did you take any photographs of the witness?
I did not. And from the area that I sit today, you can tell that I couldn't take that picture. I heard it online, and luckily I wasn't all the way back to Covington. So I don't believe in throwing rocks and hiding my hands. I have a reputation, and I'm going up for DOJ certification for immigration. So I don't need anything that's lack of moral turpitude to affect me. So I wanted to make sure.
Well, I
that got
appreciate
back
you
in
coming
here.
straight here. And I think that we have actually figured out what happened anyway. And since we're on it, I'll just go ahead. And it appears that what happened is that, and I hate to say it, and I don't think it was your fault, Mr. Maurice, but I think what happened, it looks like, is that you're showing the screens when video is being played, understandably. But what happens is when the video gets stopped, there was just an instant where, because for us in here in this courtroom with Zoom, we have the witness being shown just to us so that y'all can see it and I can see it, because this courtroom setup is not ideal for everybody to be able to see the witness. And it showed for just a second the witness, because it captured the Zoom that got shown.
Exactly, Your Honor. The Zoom, which shows from a bird's eye perspective. So looking at that picture that is being shown everywhere now, nobody sitting down or standing up in the courtroom could have taken that photo. That is overly obvious. And instead, you had this woman return. You had two other media representatives forced to testify it wasn't them, when it is obvious from looking at that picture, it wasn't taken by any member of the media. It was the court Zoom.
That's just interior here, but anybody, of course, can screen grab it. And it looks like that's what happened. So I think that in order to stop that from occurring in the future, we just, when we have a witness who isn't supposed to be filmed, we just won't even be able to use the Zoom, so that we don't have that accidentally happen in the future. And there aren't that many witnesses that aren't going to get shown anyway. And thankfully for this particular witness, it's not the end of the world,
Right.
considering she's apparently been on First 48 before. So anyway, thanks to all of the media people, and y'all are all still good and allowed to
Okay.
come in.
Also,
and-
I don't get that list of who's not to be photographed.
Oh,
If
and-
I had not heard it ahead of time,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known.
Okay.
But
Let's make sure
I
we get you
definitely wanted
added.
to make sure my name is
Okay.
good.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I know we added, so bad with the names, but the other lady the same day. So let's make sure she's on that list too. Okay, thank you.
I
All right,
appreciate it.
back to, so R is in, R, S, Sierra. Any objection?
Sierra withdraws it. It's in on
Withdrawn,
a different
okay.
account.
Tango, I know that one. Any objection to T? Thank you. Anybody? All right, basis.
Nobody's disputing that these two people know each other. I'm assuming the court knows who they are. If not, I could tell you. And then the writing, I'm being told, is just quoting a lyric from a song. So I'm objecting to the writing as well. I don't see how that furthers anything.
I don't know if the lyric from the song takes the C and change it to some other letter, but this is Kelvin Treadwell, whom the witness discussed during the interview. This is January 18th, 2015. We believe it's relevant. There's nothing unduly prejudicial, and we'd ask that the court allow it to be shown.
And where's there a substituted
No.
B?
Oh, BITX.
Oh,
H.
I thought you, okay,
Yes.
X. Okay. All right, I'm gonna overrule that objection. You.
This is a different time. This is even further into 2015.
We have a picture of these people together already.
We have various pictures of them together, but in this particular picture, Mr. Sledge, who has testified, is throwing up the B for blood. Shannon Stillwell is.
Brooklyn, go back a minute ago when spoke to Judge after she finished. She spoke to, okay, a minute. Where are we at?
Shown. That's just, we just won't have, y'all are all still good and allowed to
Okay.
come in.
Also,
and
I don't get that list of who's not to be photographed.
added, so bad with the names, but the other lady the same day, Sierra. Any objection?
Sierra withdraws it. It's in on a
Withdrawn,
different
okay.
account.
Tango, I know that one. Any objection to T? Thank you. Anybody? All right, basis.
Nobody's disputing that these two people know each other. I'm assuming the court knows who they are. If not, I could tell you. And then the writing, I'm being told, is just quoting a lyric from a song. So I'm objecting to the writing as well. I don't see how that furthers anything.
I don't know if the lyric from the song takes the C and change it to some other letter, but this is Kelvin Treadwell, whom the witness discussed during the interview. This is January 18th, 2015. We believe it's relevant. There's nothing unduly prejudicial, and we'd ask that the court allow it to be shown.
And where's there a substituted
No.
B?
Oh, BITX.
Oh,
H.
I thought you, okay,
BS.
X. Okay. All right, I'm gonna overrule that objection. You.
Yay, Bucky.
This is a different time. This is even further into 2015.
We have a picture of these people together already.
We have various pictures of them together, but in this particular picture, Mr. Sledge, who has testified, is throwing up the B for blood. Shannon Stillwell is right in front of him, and Mr. Zachary is immediately to Mr. Sledge's left. We believe that this is a pertinent and
Yes, folks, Mr. Jingles is here. Our fearless leader, Mr. Jingles. He is the leader of the Mr. Jingles Viking Thugs. We are not a criminal enterprise. We hang out here on this channel, and we do not take responsibilities for each other's words or actions, and we are not unindicted co-conspirators, just so you know. Just so you know. Hey, Steph, member for a whole month. Hello.
and we feel like there is persuasive power in the depth of presentation. And to say that we have one, I'm trying to quote
No,
the
go
case.
ahead. I'm sorry, I just have this ringing in my ear all of a sudden. Go
To
ahead.
say that we have one picture or two pictures of the three of them together
Okay.
already.
All right. Overruled. V.
That was inadvertently added.
Okay. V.
Useless
W.
pictures in evidence. Woohoo.
This is Mr. Zachary and Mr. Stillwell. This is March 2nd, 2015. He tags Mr. Stillwell and he makes a proclamation. Our argument is that given count one and the language and description of the conspiracy, it is evidence of Mr. Zachary promoting YSL and promoting Shannon Stillwell and attempting to assert their dominance. He's a gangster. He's not scared of you. This is him tagging him and him posting him.
Your Honor, I'm going to absolutely object to a piece of evidence coming in written by someone not my client, that's not my client apparently, about my client, calling him a gangster. That is prejudicial. It's not in furtherance of any conspiracy. It's not my client's words. It's any probative value is outweighed by the, I mean, we're charged essentially with being part of a gang. And a gentleman who did testify, but who also was off the stand by the time the state announced specific intention to use this photo. Calling my client a gangster? No, I'm objecting.
He would have lied if we asked him about it in any event. He said that everything he said about anybody was false.
Well,
Anybody in this courtroom.
I'm not interested in what he would have done. I don't think any of us know what he would have done. But the bottom line is he was on the stand and off the stand by the time the state announced their intention of using this.
And Your Honor, I think that,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that this was captured in 2016. Mr. Stillwell was tagged. And I think that it's relevant and admissible and not unduly prejudicial.
All right, I'll let you admit it without the I don't know what you call it, tagline or commentary or whatever.
So just a picture, no text. I don't
I mean,
think
you
the
can
state is.
leave the at Shannon, but he's a gangster. He's not scared of you. They didn't get a chance to, and I think that you are probably correct in what you surmised would have been the testimony, but they didn't have an opportunity to ask him about it. So you can leave the at part, but
Yeah.
yes.
Does Your Honor not consider it an effort on the part of a YSL associate, as the state alleges, Mr. Zachary, to assert the dominance of a member of YSL, even if it's not taken as true? He's asserting
I
something.
understand the argument. All right. Do you understand the ruling?
Absolutely.
Okay. X. Any objection?
To the writing at the top, free DK as well as free slug. I don't know how that is, I just don't understand how that's relevant. If it's showing association, they stick together. There's hundreds of photographs that show that, and the jurors have heard from these witnesses, so I'm objecting to the entirety. But if this honorable court admits any of it, I would object to the writing.
All right. So I think that's a relevance and cumulative
And 403, yes, prejudicial also.
and prejudicial.
So this is posted rather, July 23rd, 2015. It is Mr. Zachary putting a green snake emoji. I think he called it a bird on the stand when I asked him about a snake earlier. Free DK and free slug. DK being Walter Murphy, slug being Trontavia Stevens, both of which the jury has heard from and in various forms, well, they've heard from. So we have not shown this photograph, this date, and the assertion to free DK and free slug. This is something that will be seen throughout social media on various sites like Free Roscoe, Free This, Free That, members of YSL. So we don't believe that it should be excluded.
All right. Overruled. Why?
Your Honor, I don't know. I see Mr. Sledge. I don't know who the other individual is. It's not my client, but to the extent that
it's character.
It's character. And it says, I keep a bunch of killers around me when I move.
I object to
So
character as well.
it's bad character evidence. It's prejudicial. And it's also, again, an out-of-court statement by Mr. Zachary, I'm guessing, as he's the owner of this Instagram account. And we're not going to have an opportunity to cross-examine him about his words here.
Your Honor, it's an assertion. Whether he actually keeps a bunch of killers around him when he moves, nobody knows. But the fact that he wants people to think he keeps a bunch of killers around him when he moves corroborates information that he gave to the police when he gave this interview.
This is so immensely stupid. It's a figure. It's a figuratively it's a figure of speech, or figuratively speaking, or it's not. Oh. Yeah, we need to watch ourselves with how we ironically or sarcastically post things on social media, because one wrong word and we are unindicted co-conspirators.
And who is in this picture?
I believe that may be Mr. Sledge, but I believe that may be Mr. Sledge. And he said that he says in the interview, Mr. Sledge was a shooter. Monkton was a shooter. And and Copeland took his place. Woody took his place. So him asserting this, we believe, furthers the interests of YSL asserting dominance, instilling fear in social media postings, as count 1 in the indictment alleges. We believe that this is an overt act on the part of an unindicted co-conspirator that should be admitted as evidence.
It would be uncharged. It would be barred by statute of limitations. It's not an overt act in the sense of, the jury can rely on this to further the conspiracy. And I just look at it like without his
So something that is not charged. Ms. Love tries to assert it is an overt act as an intrinsic evidence. Or what? Backdooring in evidence again.
excuse me, I apologize, without giving context from the witness saying, oh yeah, that is the killer who confessed to me and that's why I wrote this. This is like out of order. You know, it should have come in my opinion, with the witness there, and if they're interested in his words. So I will object to that as
All
well.
right, well, it's not a defendant on trial here. So in terms of bad character, that's not, I mean, bad character of somebody else, if it even is that.
It is a person on trial.
Mr. Sledge?
Mr. Sledge.
That's not Mr. Sledge. I don't believe that's Mr. Were you told that's Mr. Sledge?
I thought, isn't that what you said?
What I said was I believe that it is. I did not say that I had been told. I think someone earlier said it as well.
The person in the white shirt is not Mr. Sledge. That person, to my belief, is a person in your courtroom.
The only face that's shown is the one that we're talking about next to the television.
And
it is-
since I'm the one that said it. Mr. Sledge is clearly the person wearing a black shirt. We're all on the same page with that. There's also a gentleman wearing a white shirt with his back to the
Right.
camera.
Uh-huh.
I believe what Mr. Steele is saying, and I agree that it is one of the people that's sitting here in this courtroom, and it does affect. It is prejudicial towards them, and they won't have the opportunity to cross-examine. It's not Mr. Stillwell. Let me be clear.
Okay, I guess it's going to be a mystery as to who it actually is.
Only face.
I'm not sure who that is, Your Honor.
Mr.
But
White,
on the
yeah,
on
I
the
mean-
on the off chance
Uh-huh.
that would be my client, and I can't, honestly I cannot tell that that's my client, but people may think it's my client, and on that off chance, then the bad character evidence is an issue.
Okay.
On top of
Mhm.
on top of which, Your Honor, they're playing Grand Theft Auto, as far as I can tell. I know.
Gives y'all a really good argument.
Well, but still, it's misleading. It's more prejudicial than it is probative. They're sitting here playing Grand
Not
Theft
sure
Auto.
it's
Of
more
course, they're
prejudicial
surrounded.
than it is probative.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Your
I
Honor.
said I'm not sure that's actually true.
A bunch of people playing Grand Theft Auto and throwing up Grand Theft Auto language, and then the jury's going to see that and assume they're talking about real life killers versus what the
I have
video
no
game they're
idea
playing.
What the jury is going to assume, and it'll be up to all of the different parties to
When you make the decision,
see what
whether
they can do to convince the jury. But I do not believe that this is more prejudicial than probative.
well, when you make that decision, you're making a decision as to what you think the jury's going to believe.
No, I'm not. I have no idea what the jury is going to believe. I am assessing the probative value of the evidence against its.
Okay, so now I know, I haven't seen this. So now they are playing Grand Theft Auto. And they are throwing GTA lingo around. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fork and knife.
Danger of substantially undue prejudice and coming to the determination that it is not substantially more prejudicial than it is probative.
And I understand your ruling on the 403 balancing, Your Honor, but I think part of your reasoning, which I get, is that it's our job as attorneys to get the full story to the jurors, and Mr. Weinstein can establish it's Grand Theft Auto. But the fact remains, we really can't, because this gentleman has already testified.
Well, I don't know that.
Right.
In terms of it being Grand Theft Auto, it's obvious to anybody who's ever seen Grand Theft Auto before. So you can probably get somebody else to testify that that's Grand Theft Auto.
Are you forcing the defense to call a Grand Theft Auto expert? That's just plain stupid.
And I doubt if this witness is going to be able to identify the person in the white shirt anyway. So, in over objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Say that Mr. Kendrick was back to us, and you reconsider striking.
Judge, I will instruct her, even if she can see
Okay.
around his head in this picture and know who it is, do not mention Diamante
All
Kendrick.
right, thank you.
That's it.
Okay,
Your Honor,
yes.
in case It does go, Agent Bernie is late, he's late. Can we have, is there going to be another gap witness? I understand you said-
Nope. Nope.
So, I don't know, like the other three people that you had hoped, how about Mr. Sprinkle? How much longer is he going to take? Can we, I mean,
In order for, we asked the court not to require us to put him up a third and a fourth time because there is information that's going to come in that we need from these two people that are ahead of him.
we've had the poor,
Of the
what's
court.
her name, CAD report person here like 4 times since I've been the judge. So, I mean, if it's like a 10-minute thing, but if I hear from the judge, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but it's going to be noon, then we're going to need another, and I will take the blame for it. Unless you'd like to get one of your other possible witnesses, Jenkins, Sanchez, or Lewis. But I mean, it seems to me like Mr. Sprinkle would be the easiest since he's in the building anyway.
Okay.
Although, come on, y'all. I mean, as slow as everybody is with everything in this case. I would be really surprised if we end up with a gap, but anyway. Yeah, we'll do the best we can. All right. So I have looked at a rough of the August 21st, August 24th, September 6th, and September 13th of, I guess it was 2022 when y'all argued all of those motions, transcripts. 23. Okay. And what the court orders, at least as reflected in those transcripts, is the notes that any of the experts would have relied on. And there's no indication that they're that it's being ordered that they generate notes or reports if those don't already exist. And I read the order itself that way as well, so that just confirms it. So as long as all the notes and reports that do exist have been produced, then that has been abided by.
Your Honor, those notes and reports, if you read the motions as well, people have been in court, in trial, pre-trial. They took down notes. They wrote reports that are now missing. You can't use, it infuriates me to no end that just because, the prosecution can produce it, then it's okay. No, it's not okay. There are evidence missing. Reports are missing. Notes are missing. And you know by now, Judge Whitaker, that Ms. Love is a lying liar who lies. You probably know already that there were crooked cops around in 2015, 2016, and stuff like that. You already know that, and still you allow this to happen.
All right. Now, one more thing. I know, Ms. Love, you said you wanted to circle back. There was a relevance objection that I sustained on whether it was relevant. The question was essentially like, was Sergeant Gaither aware that prior to her interview with Mr. Zachary and Munchunk were from Capitol Homes? And so what would be the relevance of whether she knew that before or after the interview?
I think that I dealt with what I was.
Okay, so we don't need to circle
right,
back on.
right,
Okay,
no.
great. All right, if there is nothing else, then let's adjourn for the day and see each other at 8:45 in the morning. All right.
All right. And then they were done for today. And so am I. Oh, what a Foster clock today was. And every piece of hope I had from yesterday disappeared today. She grew a spine yesterday, the judge. And it disappeared today, in my opinion. Hey, Kitty Cat, you were gifted a membership. Yay! Nice. Good for you. Good for you. Now, tomorrow, will be a complete recap. I will start late. I will start at around 5:30 p.m. your time. I have work to do. And I need to go night-night. I take a little nap before I go to work in a few hours. But everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for the gifted memberships, the sticker, the things, all your thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, thank you for allowing me to do this and trying to translate what goes on in this courtroom. And yeah, I don't. Almost everybody I know is doing the vice president debate, and I have you. If you want it, you find it yourself. So no redirect today. But thank you again, and remember, hug your family. Unless your family is crap, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Detective Gaither, where'd you go? Lost your trail, don't you know? Your report's gone like the wind. Mystery, we can't resist. Gaither, Gaither, where you at? Hidden clues like a magician's hat. Wanna use him, then Waldo's cold. Catching shadows on the road. In the files, no trace found. Like whispers lost in a crowd. Paper trails gone to fade. In the dark, lost